Good morning. Let's get this energy up. Let's go.
Thank you. You want me to talk to me?
So for my new people that this is their first conference with me, you a little culture shocked with it? Just a touch?
I'm sorry.
Okay, so today we are talking about marketing. And this is the one that I know a lot of you want to know about because it's going to help you build your business and have you move forward. So with that, guys, take your seats, please. Let's go. So today, I'm not doing a whole hell of a lot of talking. My modules were yesterday, and I did that just so that way those that are new knew who I was and that I actually have some input in this. But today, I'm going to turn the floor over to Ann Meyer and Tabitha Justice, and to give you a little bit of background about both of these ladies. How many of you guys do face-to-face appointments? Okay. So pretty much the whole room is doing face-to-face, which is great. I personally teach a three-pronged marketing approach. So what is that? Grab your pens, grab your notebooks. Some of you guys haven't whipped them out yet. Let's go. Class is in session, and I'm 20 minutes behind. Chop, chop.
Can you turn me off? Oh, never mind.
So I teach a three-pronged marketing approach. Those three prongs are community, print, and online. So today it is all about those three prongs of your marketing. And some of you are going to go, oh my God, print, I don't do direct mail. This is not my thing. Print is not just direct mail. There are so many other pieces to that, but we'll get into that. If you are not familiar with Lead Concepts, Chris Weir from Lead Concepts is here. Give him a warm welcome. He is going to, at some point today, go ahead and grab the mic for 2 seconds, let you know about what he does. For my new kids that have never been to an event of mine, the vendors that I bring to the events like this are trusted vendors of mine, which means I've fully vetted them. There is absolutely no kickback. There is absolutely nothing other than I like how they do business. They're good people. They've got great customer service, and they will take care of you to a level that I think is fantastic. And Chris and his team do a wonderful job of that. So check out his table when it comes to that. The first module that we're going to talk about is community. Ann Myers, sorry. I haven't had my coffee yet. Give me a minute. I've had 6 hours of sleep. There we go. Woo! That's 8 hours in the last 3 days. Go me. So if I make a little bit of a mistake, that would be why. So anyways, Ann Myers of Myers Family Insurance that is in Salem, Ohio, which is extremely rural. So some of you are going to have in the back of your head, you know what, I can't do this because I'm not big city. I can't do this for XYZ reason. There are so many different ways to go ahead and build a solid marketing plan that is your own. And it goes back to what I said yesterday. Play on your strengths. Become self-aware enough of what works well for you to build your marketing on that. So Ann and I have known each other since I got into this business. Her and her husband run an amazing organization, and she is one of the best people that I know that can show you how to go ahead and do community events to get the pull that you really want in that. And it doesn't happen overnight. The other person that is coming on, if you guys want to join me, you can. So the other person that I have coming up to the stage, she is my new kid, and that is Tabitha Justice. So most of you know that when I pick my speakers, they are hand done. And I've been watching Tabitha for a year, and I couldn't be more prouder of you and your success. To watch you grow
Thank you.
and come into your own and catch your stride, I'm going to cry myself, but it's one of those that is amazing. And guys, she has this idea that I'm not going to steal her thunder, but it is why I wanted you to hear what she has to say. I also wanted you to hear from a new kid's perspective, not from a vet, as to what she's seeing, the hurdles that she's got, and how she's been able to hit the ground running at an unbelievable speed that it's very, very rare. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Ann and Tabitha. Please welcome them.
Thank you. Thank you, Amanda, for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yes. On.
You're on. You got to hold it. You got to eat it. Remember, you got to eat it.
Got it.
All right. So, as Amanda mentioned, my name is Ann Myers, and my husband and I own a small agency in Salem, Ohio. As she mentioned, to give you a little bit of background of that, we have in our township about 3,000 people. So, in our book, it's about 6,000. So, therefore, we don't stay in our town. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. You want to talk about where you're from?
Yeah, so I'm from West Virginia, Charleston. Again, much like Ann.
Up in your mouth.
Sorry. Much like Ann.
Mom voice.
A very small town is where I'm from also, and again, like your stance in the community is going to mean everything. If you mess up one person, everyone's going to know about it. So grassroots marketing for both of us.
All right, so today we're going to do things a little bit differently. Just like Amanda, I walk and talk. I can't hold still. If you haven't noticed, even yesterday, I walk around the room just because I can't. I chase squirrels all day long. It's crazy. It's really bad. So we're going to talk about getting dirty with grassroots marketing, all right? I've been doing grassroots marketing before it was sexy, before it was a thing to talk about. I didn't even know that's what it was called, was grassroots marketing. It was just something we do, all right? Chris Westfall, who, I don't know where he's at in the room because I can't find anybody. Oh, there he is, over there. Chris came up with a beautiful website that I would like you to write down. Wow, you guys listen better than my kids. This is awesome. You're like, all right.
Does everybody know what grassroots marketing is? Because I had a few people ask me
We're going to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yep. So askAmandaNow.com. Ask, A-S-K, Amanda, A-M-A-N-D-A, now, N-O-W.com. I'm obviously not Amanda. If you have a question you want to pose to myself or Tabitha or both, and you don't want to raise your hand and use your mom voice, go ahead and send your message to that website, and it pops up on this really cool Google Doc that he created that it's pretty cool technology. So thanks, Chris. It's a really, really neat thing. I don't know what the word is, so.
Is it an email or a website?
It's a website. AskAmandaNow.com. It's a website, so it'll come up and you can just put your question in and we'll be able to pull it up. Yep, if you want to test it out, it'll work. And I'll let you know for sure. I think I have to refresh too, but that's okay. So we're going to talk about some grassroots marketing, what that means to you. What grassroots marketing is different to everybody. But it's about being you. We're going to talk a little bit about where we came from, where we are now, where our plans are, and kind of go from there. Please, 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 if you have a question, let me know. Either put your hand up, get Tabitha's attention, those kinds of things. Also, we're a little different if you haven't already noticed. You need to be awake and ready to go. So whoever gets it's got it. And I got a whole bag of fun up here, all right? This is one of the things that we throw out at our parades. Any of the parades that we do, Memorial Day, we got our balloons, and if you look at it, it has our logo on it. So everything that we do has our logo. And it doesn't have to be much, but it's fun. So one of the things, I'm not really big on quotes, and I have to, before I forget, thank my sister Kim for putting together this PowerPoint. I don't do PowerPoints. 90% of this PowerPoint is for me to stay on track and not chase my squirrels. So that's why we have this. But hustle isn't just working on the things you like. It means doing the things you don't enjoy so you can do the things you love. Doing the hard thing. Getting out of your comfort zone. Getting in the game. All right? We have a playlist for my son. It's called Bus Time because his nickname is the Bus. And it's his hype list. So this morning, you know what I was doing before we got in here? I was jamming to some Lizzo. All right? Get your head in the game. Do the things you don't like so you can do the things you enjoy. You're here. You might like conferences. You might not. But you do it so you can do your bucket list. You can spend that time with your family, whatever it is. So who am I? I am a very fiercely independent, very stubborn, and generous person. I will give you the last sock that I have or shirt that I have if it makes you happy. However, because I grew up in a very, very poor family, this business was built on our blood, sweat, and tears. The business was not handed to me by my parents. The only thing that my parents taught me how or what to do is how not to be. What kind of parent I wanted to be and what kind of person I wanted to be. I will say the only good thing my father gave me was the love of music. I love music, and I can tell you he gave me that. So in these pictures, you'll see our career has allowed me to be a mom and be what I love. Amanda tells me all the time, and Chris and Craig, which I think they went golfing, and I'm really, are they in here? They went golfing. All right, I'm totally gonna text them, and I'm mad at them now. They got me into the business, and they always tell me I need to grow. My husband and I are perfectly happy being the size that we are. All right, we have no desire to have hundreds of agents. We have about 20, 30 agents that are underneath us. We're happy with that. We know what we want and who we are. And you need to know that about yourself as well. So the first picture is me and my kids making jam. I mean, I love to make jam. I don't eat it, but I give it out to the community. The other one is us at Busch Gardens. It has allowed me, my daughter loves giraffes since the day she was born, and we were able to go to Busch Gardens and feed the giraffes. Do you know how cool that is? And then the giraffe sneezed on my husband. He was so happy. He's so funny. I love him. The middle picture is my daughter's rabbits. She breeds French lops. She's 11. You'll hear me refer to her a lot because she will be up here dominating the industry. All right. The other one is Parker, my dog. I bring my dog to work with me every single day. Since he was 6 weeks old, he has come to work with me every single day. He has epilepsy, and the clients love him. So if you love your animal and you want to bring him to work, bring him. Why not? It's your place. Do it. Now, we have a standalone office because if I worked at home, I would get distracted with cleaning and organizing the Tupperware drawer that really isn't all Tupperware, let's be honest. It's, you know, we live in the Midwest, so we save everything just in case there's another recession or depression. So that's a little bit crazy. The next thing I have, I can't find it. I brought glitter, but less bitter, more glitter in 2023. If you haven't noticed, I like glitter. I like bling. It's fun. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all good. I was going to throw some glitter, but it's all good. That was at the Hard Rock. And then that's my family and I on a Disney cruise, which we absolutely love. So I tell you, do those hard things so you can do the things that you love. I am here today to tell you what we do. I'm here to tell you the nitty-gritty, down and dirty, how we do it. If you want to know whatever it is, ask the question you want the answers to. I'm a big component of that. I am an open book. Amanda and I are equals, okay? And we'll get into how we run our business a little bit later, but we're equals. I'm not under Amanda. I am here as a friend to her, and I believe in what she's doing and changing the industry and having less sucky agents, okay? So let's suck less. Seriously. Who's sick of the idiot agents that suck? So you're going to learn how to be less sucky. Be a good person. That's all you have to do, okay? So I'm here today to share that with you. I'm not getting anything out of this. Amanda's not paying me to be here to tell you this. I'm literally doing this because I believe in her mission to make the insurance industry better, to make it stronger, to make it transparent, and to make all of us successful to help the people who need the help, okay? So, you want to talk about where you came from? You're going to wait? Okay. I think I intimidate her. I'm sorry, Tabitha. Seriously, I think I intimidate you. I'm sorry. All right. I'm very overwhelming. Oh, okay, so we have a first question. Yay! All right, Dave, great question. Oh, Lisa, I don't know how to say your last name, Osman. She says, Chris, very cool platform, good job. And I agree with him. This is super cool. How much money, Dave asks, how much money does your agency spend on marketing, or is your marketing budget based on a percentage of your gross receipts? Great question. I love the questions. I'm going to answer that right now so I don't forget. Our agency, I'm going to try not to cry because I promised my daughter I wouldn't cry up here. 2021, so COVID, you know, right past COVID year, our agency broke $1 million. I am truly humbled and blessed for that. I couldn't do it without the grace of God. And I say that because without him, I wouldn't be here today. To answer your question, I put more money in our marketing and back into the community than what I put in my pocket. I eat ramen noodles now because I want to, not because I have to. So think about that for a second. For years and years and years, I would say for the first 5 years, be honest with you, and I'm brutally honest, so ask whatever you want to know. We ate ramen noodles because we had to. I would call Chris and Craig when I first moved back to Ohio, and we'll get to that, and Craig would give me $100 for groceries, and I would buy noodles and butter and ramen noodles because it was the cheapest thing that let me go through for a while. So I come up here to talk to you, not as somebody who's been successful. I mean, yeah, of course, that too. But more so is I used to go to food pantries. We grew the food in our garden to get where we are. All right, I eat ramen noodles now because I love them. I just do. I know they're bad for me. I don't care. So to answer your question about how much money we put back into the agency for marketing, until you have a steady renewal stream that you can pay your bills without going to work in the morning, I would say we put at least 90% of it back in, always. And you don't know if something works until you try it. Tabitha and I are going to share today a lot of things that we do. And yes, we are from a rural community. I think I could speak for that as well. Even though we come from a rural community, I don't want to hear anybody say, well, that won't work in my area. Unless you've tried it, don't tell me it's not going to work. Because you don't know until you try something. Plain and simple, all right? If anybody who has kids, okay? Kids don't like broccoli. They don't like their trees. Well, have you tried it? No. All right, well, put some cheese stuff on it. Oh, that's good. No kidding. I know what I'm talking about. I'm a mom. So kind of the same thing. So don't knock it till you try it, okay? That's exactly it. And if it doesn't work for you, change it. I'm going to allude to a campaign later that Amanda's doing that we have totally tanked on it. Is that fair, Kim? It has sucked. Sucked. But you know what? We're going to change it and make it better. So we'll learn from that. So I am extremely, extremely stubborn, and that's who I am. So how I started in the industry 20 years ago. That is a picture of me 20 years ago with Chris and Craig Villwalk. Look how skinny I was. I was so cute then. Well, I'm 30 pounds lighter since October, so super excited, 4 inches smaller. I still eat ramen noodles. I should be a spokesperson for them. So I've been in the industry 20 years, and I've been with Chris and Craig Villwalk from day one. All right? I did not want to do insurance at all. I hate insurance. Insurance sucks. Let's be honest. Nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to spend money on it. And people say, oh, what do you do for a living? oh, how can I make insurance brokers sound pretty? How do I tell them what I do without them looking away from me? Freaking own it. You're an insurance agent. You're a broker. Own it. Quit trying to make yourself sound pretty. You're a broker. Own it. It's what it is. So I thought I was applying to a marketing position. Quite honestly, I had no idea it was insurance. And then Craig's selling me on insurance and United American and what it was and all these renewals, and you're going to make $100,000 your first year, and it's going to be great. And you all heard it. I'm like, okay, I can help you with your marketing. I still wasn't listening to him. Well, here I am 20 years later. But the reason I got here was because I listened to the people who were in front of me. I listened to the Tabithas. I listened to the me's of the industry who were doing it. I'm not joking you, I cannot make this crap up. I started doing corrugated signs that you see on the road that say, call for affordable health insurance with a phone number. And I did pull tabs. Do you guys know what pull tabs are? So when you go to the laundromat and they have like, selling a couch, pull the number with your name and phone number, that's what I did. I had no money, 0 money, none, broke. I was borrowing money to live. And that is what I did. I invested in the corrugated signs, and I did the pull tabs. And if you do pull tabs, they still work. I'm telling you, they still work. Make sure if you put them up, you pull the middle tab off, so that way it looks like somebody already took one and called you. Smart, yep. So that's what I did. And I dialed my butt off, because back then you could pick up the phone and you could call the Hazels and the Harolds and the Velmas and the different names. Well, guess what? It changed. So yes, our industry changes all the time. They change more than I change my shoes, all right? They just do. So what? We have a scope of appointment. That sucks. We don't have a scope of appointment. Okay, great. We have to record our phone calls. Crap. Okay, we don't have to, whatever. Just, there's gonna be changes. Focus on what you do, and that's helping people. Follow the rules. You never have to worry, and just do what's right. Would you agree? So that's where I came from. Is there any questions on that? How do you feel about, like, yeah, I don't know what to do. Like, I really love this. Okay, good. There's no questions. All right. Yeah. All right. So I restarted my career 3 times. So I haven't started this from day one in 2003, or no, that wasn't 2003. When did I get married? 2000, I don't know. It was 20 years ago. February was 20 years. 3 times I've done this. I started in Pennsylvania in a small town, drove all over God's creation, selling. And then I thought it was great to follow a man to Georgia and get married. And then I went back to Ohio. And then now my husband and I used to work for Chris and Craig in their office as the compliance officer, also known as business prevention. I am the most hated person at TLC, because I would call them and say, you forgot an initial, you need to go back out and get it. Oh, no, you can't say that you're the best, because Medicare says you can't say you're the best. So I'm the most hated person there. But you know what? I thank Chris and Craig and Amanda for being my sounding board when I was frustrated and when it wasn't working. So my husband and I got pregnant with our last child, and I only have 2, but it feels like 100. And, whew, yeah. So got pregnant with Robbie, and my husband and I thought, he was the recruiting manager at TLC. He worked in radio for 13 years prior, but he was working at TLC as a recruiting manager, and when seeing the agents that were coming in and how sucky they were and that they were successful. And he was like, wait, people buy insurance from you? You can't even wear a belt and tuck your shirt in. And you're all disheveled. Wait a second. So Chris and Craig supported us and said, you know what? Yes, we want you to do that. And so we started our agency, again, with no money, a newborn and a 2-year-old. I don't know what the heck we were thinking, but God had it. Really, he did. So I started out as a teacher. I went to college for elementary early childhood. I used to joke about I taught kids the ABCs. Well, now I teach Medicare ABCs. And now I'm going to teach you guys ABCs. and I thought of this, my daughter and I were talking, and actually she came up with this because we were at the car wash where I go a couple times a week. So I have a beautiful pink Jeep. It matches the pink car. Whoever has that pink car out here that's glittery, who are you? Where are you at? Who has the pink glittery car? Rhoda, I love you. I don't know where you're at. Oh, I love your car. It matches my Jeep. I love it. Me too. I love it. Own it. I love it. My husband, that Jeep came out, quick story, side story, and I said, honey, Amanda sent it to me actually. She's like, this is so you. I'm like, I need to have that Jeep. And I had a minivan. I have 2 kids. So, I'm not a soccer mom. I'm a football, cheerleading, all these other sports mom. And I'm like, I need to have that Jeep. And I asked my husband, I said, I think I'm going to get that Jeep. He's like, you're not getting a pink Jeep. I have a pink Jeep. Don't tell me I'm not going to do something. So we're at the car wash because I wash my pink Jeep all the time. I love it. It's called Tuscadero Pink, if anybody knows who that is.
Yes, Pinky Tuscadero.
Pinky Tuscadero, bingo, exactly. And I was talking with the car wash guy, and I said, hey, you know what? Mod Wash down the street gives free vacuuming of your car. Are you guys going to start doing that, or do I still have to keep paying $2 for 5 minutes to, wash out my car? And he goes, well, we're going under new ownership, and I don't know, they'll probably, on and on and on. And I was like, well, hey, listen, if they change the insurance or stuff, let me know. Here's a bag of pens. So that way when people steal your pens, you have them. And, oh, here's some flashlights, too. So call me if you need anything. So speaking of flashlights, let me show you these. And this, I promise, it goes into what I'm talking about. So I'm not going to throw these because they will hurt you. I don't know where Lori's at, but they are so awesome that Lori's husband refers to me as the flashlight lady. Are you going to catch it? You promise? Nice. All right. There might be another one in here. I don't know. Oh, there is. Oh. All right. Hold on 1 second. We'll get to the question. Catch. Make sure you catch. Don't hit her head. All right. So my daughter said, Mom, you chat with everybody. Yes, I do. That's how I got where I am, because you know what I do? I always be chatting. I am chatting with everybody. So that is the ABCs for us. We teach the ABCs to seniors, and always be chatting. I don't care who you're talking to. Kim will tell you, I insert what I do for everybody I talk to. I don't care how old you are, how young you are, I insert it in. I'm like, oh yeah, I do Medicare. Or like, okay, so here's another quick fun story. So I'm at Southwest Airlines, getting ready to come down here, and my bag may or may not have been over by 5 pounds. It was. Well, I had to bring all this fun stuff. And so I got up there, and it's 6, not even, it was what, 4 o'clock in the morning? And the guy's there, and he goes, oh, you're heading to Florida, I see. And I was like, yep, that's where I'm going. And I said, I'm super nervous. I got to talk in front of all these people. And, and I just started chatting them up. Guess who didn't notice my 5 pounds? Always be chatting, all right? Just be you. Just have fun. What's our question?
All right, this is from Dwayne.
From Dwayne.
With your grassroots marketing being so strong,
I think you're off. Are you off? I don't know how to turn you on. Okay, I'm not going to say that. Awkward.
Hello.
Ah, there we are.
So this is from Dwayne. With your grassroots marketing being so strong, do you spend time and money on SEO and or other social media marketing?
I don't know what SEO is. So that would be search engine. Google. Yes, Google, absolutely. Yes, I do. I don't know what that meant, but yes, I do Google. Absolutely, 100%, 100%. Because I budgeted at $500 a month, which I know is a lot of money, but I don't want to have somebody else come up higher. I don't want Anthem to come up first. No offense. I love you, but I don't want them to come up first. I want to come up first. And now I spend $500 a month in Google just because of what's going on with the redetermination and stuff. But set it where you can afford it. 100% yes, Google. Because as much as I hate technology and where we're going, Amanda's been on me for years about doing YouTube and all this stuff. I love you. I'm not doing it. Technology isn't going anywhere. Look around the room, all right? Legitimately, look at the people at the next table. Look at how old they are. We're being forced with technology. So by the time we get to 65, and I'm 43, yeah, 43, it's not going anywhere. And what is one thing that we go to since we don't go to encyclopedias anymore? Google. You know what? I don't know how to make a cobbler. What am I going to do? Google it. My kids, she was learning something about the Romans. I'm like, I don't know all these laws that they had. You know what? Let's Google it. We figured it out. So 100% yes, I would invest in Google. I mean, not their stock because it's way expensive, but definitely put into that, all right? So talk to everybody. I don't know if you could see the screen or not. This is where we were. We were in an old schoolhouse. It was a school from South Range that was opened in 1888. So filled with asbestos, filled with anything, I mean, mice like you couldn't believe. But it was an old school. The school had built, you know how they're all building new schools now, and they're all in one complex. And so that's what our school district did also in 2010. And when we opened our office, we had no money. We were broker than broke. Do you know what that feels like? Broke. So the owner of the building let us rent it for $100 a month. We were in the old home ec room, and that's where we started. It looked like your first apartment, where you have an old couch from a friend and a sofa or a chair from someone else, and everything's all hodgepodge, but it worked. We owned it, you know. We were ambitious, we were tired, we were broke, but one thing we were definitely was motivated, because we had 2 small kids to feed. We both do this, so keep that in mind. My husband and I both do this. We do nothing else. We do this, and I'm a mom. And I like this a whole lot better because it has directions. If you have a direction manual for an 11-year-old girl, please bring it to me. Kim and I would love to have it, okay? We have no other option. I don't know who said it, but they go on vacation with their husband after AEP, I'm sorry I forgot your name. I love that. I work with my husband, but yet I don't see him. Okay, so I love that. So keep that in mind. We didn't have a salary from somebody else. We didn't have mommy and daddy money. My mom and dad were drug addicts and alcoholics, and my mom has since died, which I'm fine with. She gave me up at a very young age. She tried to have an abortion with me 3 times, hence the stubbornness. I'm not going anywhere. So I want you to learn. So I want you to learn. So reset, restart, refocus as many times as you need, but don't quit. Amanda told you that. Restart, reset, restart, refocus. Just don't quit. Keep going. Because now I have 7 full-time staff, and I call them my team. They're my team that we're taking to Hawaii next year. We have a new, beautiful office. We are a trusted resource in the community, and I have a steady renewal stream. I can come down and teach you and be with you because of all the stuff we did, because we restarted, we refocused, all right? So stick with this. So what do you want your model to be? We're gonna go, I got told I gotta go fast, so keep up. Do you wanna be to the consumer only? Are you an agency that you are only gonna sell to the client? Are you gonna be a consumer and customer service? That's what our agency is. We sell to the client every single day, and we have I have a full-time, in-person, licensed support team that helps with service questions. They need a new card, they got a bill they don't understand, they got an EOB that they're freaking out that they got to pay all this money even though they really don't. What do you want it to be? Or do you want to be consumer and agents? You know, Amanda does a great job at that. She's got agents, and she goes out and helps them sell. So what do you want? No matter what you do, all of this that we're going to teach you today is going to go towards that. So who's your target audience? Grandmas who like to party, hence Medicare and Margaritas. So are you marketing to T65? Are you wanting people who are already 65 that are retired? What do you want to do? DSNP. I'm going to tell you this right now. Carriers, I'm sorry, not sorry. I don't target DSNP. Not $1 that I have goes towards DSNP. None of it. Because it'll fall in your lap. If you market to people who are already on Medicare, it's going to fall on your lap. But make sure you ask them, hey, do you get any extra help from this state? You don't have to ask them, are they DSNP? But do you get any extra help from the state? Allow this to fall in your lap instead of seeking it, because it is money that doesn't always stay on the books. You know this. People want the next shiny car. They want the next shiny cell phone. They want the next shiny insurance plan that, yeah, your doctors don't take it, but you get an OTC card that you can't use because you didn't read the directions in activating it. I'll call it what it is. So let that fall in your lap, all right? Your speed doesn't matter at all, but forward is forward. Keep taking those small steps, and you will surprise even yourself with the amazing progress. Would you agree? Just keep going forward. These were our brochures. I don't know, you can't see them, but they're very generic. When we first started, they were content-based. They weren't branded. They weren't personalized. They were very wah-wah. Guess what? They didn't work. Big shock. So now they're pretty. Amanda has a slew of people that will help you with your marketing. If you don't know how to do it and you don't like doing it, guess what? Call a friend, okay? Call your upline. They will help you. Because now, I mean, you can't see it, but our whole team is in there. I love my team. I cannot be me without them in so many ways. So the biggest part of our business, though, is referrals. And I am not the first person to tell you this, and I will not be the last person to tell you this. Referrals are your best piece of business. We tell everybody up front when they're meeting with us at the end, because they're always like, oh, what do you charge? You know what? We tell everybody exactly this. We don't charge for our services. We just ask that you tell your friends and family, or maybe give us a review on Google or Facebook about how we helped you. And then they're like, well, how do you make money? And we always tell them, the carriers pay us, but if you do what's right, God will take care of the rest, period. Even if somebody comes in and we don't sign them up for insurance, we still do the same thing, all right? Take care of your people that refer people to you. If Sally Smith is referring her friend to you, that holds more value than any marketing piece or any lead that you can ever have. So our referrals, we take great care of, all right? We have thank you notes that are just a plain postcard that we write that just says, thank you for sharing your information with your family and friends. Please accept this small token of appreciation to support all of us is true blessing. We promise to continue serving you and those you refer to us with integrity, honesty, and compassion. And then we send them a $15 gift card to Bob Evans or Dairy Queen, okay? Even if that person comes in that they referred.
Hey guys, the PowerPoint that's here, I will email it to you because it's really hard to see on these screens.
Yes.
So we will get it to everybody that's here after the fact.
Yes, absolutely.
I love you. Let her talk.
She wants to, yeah, I kept saying that. I kept saying that. I did, 100%. I'm like, this is not the me show, not at all. This is, like, seriously. Right, yeah. So that's why I'm speeding it up. So, but even if the person doesn't buy any product from us, if it wasn't a fit, they have OPERs, whatever the case, I still send that person that referred them a thank you gift card, always. And yes, I know, before y'all yell at me, that there is a limit on how much I can do every year and how, yeah, I know that. I have a back office person, Savannah, who's phenomenal, and she tracks that. She has a Google Doc that does all that. I get it, okay? So, but take that time, take that money. Yes, $15 when you have nothing is a lot of money, but that person didn't have to send anybody to you at all. So give back what's being given to you. I'm super excited to announce this. So we just partnered with Texas Roadhouse, and we are giving all of our referrals a $15 gift card to Texas Roadhouse, which has our logo on it. So go to your local Texas Roadhouse. You know what I had to do? I had to buy $1,000 worth of gift cards. I was buying gift cards anyways. And they go to a local business. And yes, it's a chain, but they employ local people. And it has my logo on it. How cool is that? They pull it out of their wallet. There I am. And then they put up a corrugated sign in their establishment for 9 months. Do the math. What month is this? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So they're seeing it all the time. And people that go to Texas Roadhouse. So use it, use it, use it, use it. Amanda's going to drive me, she's going to hate me. But we are here to share. We do not, there's no secret sauce, okay? This is no secret. If you're being successful, share it. Okay? Share it with the other person. Tabitha is phenomenal at what she does in her area because she listens to other people. We have the TLC Insurance Group has their top 3 agencies in their downline, and I don't know how many agents they have. It's like thousands and thousands. The top 3 with them all live within 15 to 30 minutes from each other. Think about that. So we all live super close and we don't run into each other. But we all have different business models. So do what works for you. Don't forget your business cards, all right? Make them super easy. Yes, I know it's a digital age, but guess what? The people that are still seniors right now like a card. They like to put those magnets, get your magnet, put it on the fridge. And I know Tabitha is going to talk about that. Yes. You got your pull tabs. Be a resource in your community. I'm super excited to announce this too. This is the second thing that happened yesterday. So because we do a lot of events, if an event doesn't exist in your area, make it. Okay? And what I say by that, I was telling somebody last night at dinner, a girlfriend of mine who worked for a hospice company, and another girlfriend of mine who worked for Blossom, which is an assisted living facility. The 3 of us would have lunch once a month and talk about the business and complain about people who drive us crazy. And we thought, well, why don't we invite other people? So Debbie brought somebody, and Jen brought somebody, and I brought somebody. And then it grew. And then we kept inviting more. And now it's called Columbiana County Connections, because that's the county, Columbiana County. And we get together now. It's grown from 3 people to between 50 people a month getting together for dinner. And, hey, somebody's hiring. Hey, we have an open bed. Hey. So it's really cool. If it doesn't exist, do it. Figure it out. You know what? You don't know if you don't try. If there's not a health fair in your area, there is National Senior Health and Fitness Day. It's every year in May. Every single year. I think it's May 31st, to be honest. I really don't know because it falls at a bad time when I want to travel before AEP starts. But make an event, and if you want to know how to do that, let me know. All right? It's really not as hard as you think it is. It's really, really not. And your colleagues, everybody in this room has value. Even if you're eating ramen noodles because you have to, you bring value. We are not a competition with each other, okay? I don't know you, and I will tell you everything because I want you to be successful because we need to have less sucky agents in this industry. So let's be better and share with each other. We are not each other's competition, okay? We're not. We're here for each other. So use each other. From day one of the things that we have done since day 1 of our agency, when I started this 3rd time over, were these T65 cards. We handwrite them out. I hired a college girl, Savannah, who still works for us. She would sit in her dorm and handwrite the name and address to all of these people while she was sitting there watching Law and Order. I paid her $10 under the table back then, and it was 10 years ago. And that's what we did. And to this day, that is the #1 thing that we still do, and it works. It works, it works, it works. Then we send everybody an AEP card. We don't do big letters. If you do, if it works for you, great. Our people know they're going to get a postcard. Just like Amanda does the colors. You know when you get something from Amanda, it's colorful. Same thing. Our people know that they're going to get a postcard from us. So during AEP, during our appointment, we tell everybody, listen, we're not going to call you. You have to have some responsibility in this. So when we send you that postcard, make sure you call to get your appointment scheduled. And we get all of our people that are current in October 1st to December 15th to talk about the plans and the changes and all that stuff, okay? So get them in, send those out. We send them out right after the Canfield Fair. For those who don't know, that's Labor Day weekend every year. They get those mid-September, and because they're current clients, I'm not breaking any rules about the new year. I'm just saying, call us to schedule for your review. Then these calendars, we send out a calendar mid-October. All of these things, by the way, so you're like, oh my gosh, I am one person. How in the heck am I going to do this? Guess what? Those thank you notes that we send to everybody that comes in with an appointment, or those referral cards, we're writing them now. Everybody in our team are writing them right now. okay? They're getting ready to go. The calendars, we get them in July, and we get all like 3,500 after you've got, because we don't send them to, anyways, doesn't matter. So we send between 3,500 and 4,000 out every year, and people expect them. They love them. They put them in their RVs, but I send them out in mid-October. So they get the first card that says, hey, don't forget to call, and then if they forgot, this is just a nice little bump to say, hey, you forgot. You know what I mean? But I'm not calling them out all the time. And they're not things that are super expensive. The other thing that we did from day one were the postcards. Then we also did local company investments. So we did a pharmacy bag. You know, you go to the pharmacy and they put your prescriptions in the bag. Well, the guy, we called him and said, hey, we want to advertise on this bag. People aren't going to come to you and ask if you want to advertise. So if you see something you like, call them. One of the other things that we did right away was on the tables. You know, you go to a restaurant and you eat and they have all the little advertisements on the table. And you're like, oh, that'd be nice if I was on there. Why didn't you call them? Their number's on there. Call them. Okay? Do that. You have to take the initiative to do that. We give a lot of stuff away. We give away footballs. We give away T-shirts. We have hand clappers that are a lot of fun. Guess what? Everything has our name on it. Everything. And you know what? You don't want to keep this stuff here because it doesn't do you any good. These are cute little fans. Send them out to the parade, and guess what? It has my name on it. All right? They're super, super awesome. They come in all kinds of different things. You have to spend money to make money. Yes, we all want to live great and do wonderful things, but you also have to spend money to make money. Everybody that comes into our office when they're leaving, whether or not they get a product from us or not, they walk out with a jar opener and a flashlight, no matter what. Because we are always, oh, look at this flashlight. It's super cool. It's really bright. It takes AAA batteries. That's it. I use it to pluck my eyebrows. Like, it's wonderful. It's a bright light. So we also spend money on commercials. Commercials can be shot on a GoPro or an iPhone now. They don't have to have a full production team. So I'm going to play these. They're 30 seconds, but I'm going to show you where we were and where we are now.
Over the years, you watched us grow, and as we've grown, so has the Myers Family Insurance team.
Thanks to all of you who have trusted our families to help you with your Medicare needs.
Myers Family Insurance looks forward to helping you now for years to come. So call our family today and remind them how cute we are.
Myers Family Insurance continues to be the area's resource for all your Medicare and retirement needs. Call today, 330-286-3044.
So guess what? Did I have to send that to CMS? No, I didn't. I don't have to send that to CMS because I didn't talk about plans. I'm not selling a carrier. I'm selling me. I'm selling our team. Why should you choose me over the person down the street? Why should you choose me over
Hi,
Joni?
My name is Jim Myers.
That's my husband.
Not a professional athlete. I've never been in a TV sitcom, and I don't have a hit album. What I have done is help thousands of folks figure out their Medicare plans. Medicare is confusing, so whether you're turning 65 on disability or just planning to retire, don't get advice from someone paid to endorse a plan. Come get the facts from me and my team at Myers Family Insurance.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
And the disclaimers at the bottom. So you don't have to have a super sexy commercial. It doesn't have to say, free, free, free. It doesn't. It just has to show you and why somebody should come to you. All right, I'm going to keep going so she can go. So also, I'm going to play this real quick. It's 30 seconds. People in our community, and I'm sure you have one in yours as well, there is somebody that the community trusts, that they look at as their know-it-all, trusted source, that if they say it, it's got to be true. If they are endorsing it, it's got to be true. What they don't realize is it costs money to be with Rich Morgan. We pay him, just like the insurance companies pay Joe Namath and all those people. We pay him, and he comes in and interviews and genuinely means it. If you want to see the full segment, it's online at My Valley Pros, WKBN.
Welcome to My Valley Pros. We're at Myers Family Insurance, and Jim Myers has never won a Super Bowl. He's never been the star of a family sitcom. However, He knows about free Medicare enrollment information. And Jim, this is the time of year when people get involved in that.
All the new information for next year will come out on October 1st. Okay. And that's their chance then between October 1st and December 7th to look to see what plans fit their situation the best based off of their current needs. We sit down with folks, we have a conversation. If you're on a standalone prescription drug plan or a Medicare Advantage plan that maybe you've been on for years, it might not still be the right fit for you. So it's a good time for us to sit down and just have a talk about it.
Check out the rest of this segment at myvalleypros.com.
So I share these things with you because it takes a little bit to do everything. And we're getting your questions, and we're going to wait to answer them until Tabitha goes as well, because she's going to answer a lot of those questions, okay? Get involved in golf outings. I don't care where you live, there is a golf outing. Guess what? I hate the golf too. I suck. I use a 3-wood for putting, okay? So if you're a golfer, you know you're not supposed to do that. But you know what I do instead? My husband and our team golf, they have a foursome, and my daughter and I sponsor the snack at the turn. So we did well, we didn't do it, they came up with it, we just paid for it, but it was Chick-fil-A sandwiches and a cookie, and we have our logo on the cookie. Or we're the beer cart people. You know, my daughter loves it because she gets tips all the time, and she's like, oh, I got money for my bunnies. So if you don't like to golf, so what? You don't have to like it. You want to be where people are that are in your market, okay? Have a senior activity. Don't go in and sell anything. We have a senior living facility down the street, well, not down the street, little ways, and they need to move. They need to get out of their apartments. They need to move on. We go and do an exercise class. Clearly, I don't exercise, okay? So it's more stretching than anything else. And call your carriers. They'll be happy to send you stuff. We've got stretch bands, stress balls, all kinds of things from them if we didn't have it. And we just went in and taught a stretching class. I took zero marketing kits or anything like that, because it's not about that. It's about building the relationship and being trusted, okay? It's getting them out of their apartment. It's getting them talking. But guess what? They're leaving with a flashlight, a fan, a stress ball, something with my name on it, all right? So yes, it may seem like a waste of time, but to them, it's not. That means more to them, and the activity directors love it because it's not something they have to come up with. And it'll start slow. We had birthday parties that we had at Christian House. It's another senior living facility, and we would invite the community, anybody turning 65 that month, and we'd get a big cake. And it started off really slow, like one person. But over time it grew, and then stupid COVID. If you have a fair, even if it's a street fair, a city fair, whatever it is, a county fair, go, have fun. Go do it. Set up a booth. It doesn't have to be, it's not that bad. We hand out fans at all of our fairs. We have a spinning wheel. We don't just set up a table and have people come. We set up a table. We have a spinning wheel with all the prizes on it. Yes, we want the kids that are annoying to come over and spin 100 times, but you have to bring your grown-up. You have to have an adult with you. 2 reasons. Number 1, because if the wheel falls on them, I need an adult there so I don't get sued. So, honestly. Secondly, that kid's not going to buy any insurance, but their aunt, uncle, grandma, whoever might tell whomever with the prize that they go home with. And we tell them, oh, we do Medicare. Oh, I already have Anthem. I love it. Great. What do you love about it? Just start a conversation with them, okay? We used to use all the carrier banners at all of our fairs. Now we've simplified it, and it just has our information. We don't take any carrier stuff as far as kits. We don't take any sales kits. We don't do any of that. We are selling us. We are talking about who we are and why you should come to us. Okay. You don't always have to have fun at the fair, all right? We got rained out. Build your event, all right? Use your upline, use your FMO to help you build the event. It doesn't have to be crazy. Just have fun with it. Sponsor a race car. If you have a race car track, sprint car track in your area, you know, where are grandma and grandpa going to watch their kids? What holiday's coming up? Easter. I don't care what your religion is, but there are Easter egg hunts wherever you are at. So sponsor an Easter egg hunt. We got buckets from our local market down the street and got the labels made and slapped the labels on and went to the Easter egg hunts and passed out our buckets so the kids had something to put their eggs in. So these aren't crazy expensive things. Baseball. There's baseball everywhere. There's football everywhere. Basketball. Sponsor a kid's team. Schools will be happy that you're getting involved and giving them money, and then put your name on it. Put the banner up. Get them an ice cream at the end of a good win. Take them to Dairy Queen and spend $50 on the kids, you know. Give back. You know, don't forget your cheerleaders. Don't forget your team. We gave them, you know, there's always a pink ribbon in October for breast cancer awareness. There's always a pink out, always. Every school has a pink out. Sponsor a pink out. Buy the cheerleaders a shirt that has something about it on the front, like saving the tatas, and then put your logo on the back. Always put your logo on it. You know, give the cheerleaders some bells to pass out. Get them involved. So I'm going to skip through that, but anyways. The teams, we fell into this by accident. We had T-shirts that the soccer team won the state championship, so we were like, oh yeah, we'll sponsor the T-shirts. Well, I thought that meant like we were going to, I don't know, they were going to sell them and make money, but instead we ended up spending $500 that we didn't have. But it worked out because our logo was on it, and they still wear them to this day. We advertise on the mugs at the local bar. People go there to talk. They go to chit chat. They're on there. They take them home. We're on menus at different restaurants. We are on the grocery carts at the local grocery store. Anywhere you see seniors going, whatever your marketing is, that's what you do. And give back. No matter what you do, give back, because that's what's right. That's what builds that. The train derailment, we went and spent $1,000 on games and cards and snacks and things and took them to the hotel. Not because I was trying to get anything out of it. I wasn't even going to take a picture with it, but because it's the right thing to do. And then the marketing, the owner was like, you got to advertise this. I got to put this up. So we get involved with the local hospital. We get involved with the Alzheimer's Association. Get involved. Go, 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 go. So your birthday. People have birthdays. Everybody gets a birthday card. Everybody. Who likes to get mail that's not a bill? Right. And then we have it personalized. Everybody signs it, but we don't all sign it. It's smoke and mirrors. They put that, I'm trying to go fast, sorry. It's all pre-printed. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You cannot thank people enough. Thank them for coming in and spending time with you. Even if they didn't buy anything, thank them for spending time with you. And there's just different ones in our teams. We do notebooks, we do, so Amanda, we have our notebooks for the Make It Stop campaign to make these stupid solicited phone calls. Sorry guys, but I hate those phone calls. So Amanda started a great campaign that we started with her, and it flopped on our end, and she made it pretty and beautiful, and it's going to go much better. But we got notebooks so people can take those notes. Folders and pens. I'm just going to keep going. So we have pictures. There's my Jeep. So if you have a Jeep, you know about ducks. Yep, you duck it. So you know what I do? Okay, if you have a Jeep, are you giving out ducks? Okay. So you're giving out ducks, and on your ducks, there is a little label. You know what I do? Slap my logo on the back. And now I just wrote my ducks off. All right? And find your people. Most importantly, find your people. Surround yourself with people who inspire you. You are only as good as the weakest person in your group. If somebody is pulling you down and they are draining your sunshine, you gotta let it go. Okay? If they're not growing with you, they're growing away from you. So be surrounded by the people you love. Amanda is somebody that I have loved forever. She drives me crazy. I drive her crazy, but we can have honest conversations with each other. What? Oh, don't cry. I love you. And then Chris and Craig, who I hate, who left to go golfing. Anyways, I expected that. And my husband, those people are my people, okay? I can cry, laugh, whatever with them, but they support me. They encourage me. Even when I suck, they encourage me. You know what? I mean, Craig knows how to get under my skin. So-and-so sold this many apps. Oh, yeah? Guess what? You know, Lori, I don't know where Lori's at from Emeritus. During AAP, I'm texting her, and I'm like, so how many do your in-house agents write in a month? Because here's the thing, guys, and Lori, I've told her this, and the dental people, I love Ken and Jameson. dental, it's such a pain in the butt. I hate selling dental plans. I'll tell you a conversation about with a lady later, but like she expected the policy to pay more even though she knew what it paid. She saw what it paid. I have the recording. She just expected it to pay more even though she read it. People want dental because they want dental. So you know what? I'm going to sell it because I want them to buy it from me instead of somebody else. All right? It's just what it is. And I get money out of it. So great. I get $2,000 a month because I sold some dental plans. Wonderful. So I'm texting Lori and I'm like, so how many does your in-house agents do? Well, they do 45 a month. All right, I'm at 27. It's April 15th. All right, I can do this. And I'm texting her. Guess what? I sold another one. It's stupid dental. But you know what? It adds into it, you know? Sorry. It's not my Medicare Advantage plan. But the people you work with really do determine how much you enjoy your job. So look at the people around you. Have that hard, heart-to-heart conversation with yourself. Are the people that you are surrounding yourself with bringing you up, or are they keeping you where you are? Ask yourself those hard questions. My team, I love them. They are my family. We all fight and love. I know it sounds crazy. They are my people. I love them. And I will always let them, not let them, but I want them to go to sporting events with their families. I want them to spend that time with their kids because you know what? That's my goal, is to never have to miss, ever, a basketball game, a cheerleading competition, but anyways, volleyball match or a horse show or whatever it is. I will never miss that if I can prevent it. That's why I'm leaving tomorrow and I screwed up Amanda's schedule, is because my kids have stuff going on. And as much as I love Amanda, I love my children more, and I will regret not being there. So that's my goal, is never to let my children down. Never. I was that kid that looked out in the crowds and my parents were never there. Ever. Ever, never, ever. Okay? That hurts. No matter what, your kids will always look for you, your grandparents, your grandkids, all of that. So that's what I do. And my team, I want them to be the same way. So yes, we're taking them to Hawaii. We're having some fun. We're doing that. You and only you are ultimately responsible for who you become and how happy you are. You control that. You control your happiness. Do I have bad days? Absolutely. Do I get ticked off? My husband nicknamed me Sparkplug, or Firecracker. So yes. But you know what I do? I put on my jams. It's called A Power, and I turn myself around. All right? I just do. I just do. And there are some days that I'm just a bitch. So, but most of all, I'm building a legacy. I'm trying to show my kids what hard work really is and make them decent people in this world. So if we can have less sucky agents, that would be great. Because my daughter, her goal is to buy our agency and make it better. So I want to work with Amanda and with you guys to make this industry less sucky. All right? So, and hopefully bail my son out of jail when he goes to college and parties too much. If you don't take anything else out of what I say today, just be you, always. Always be you. Own what you are and do what's right, and God will take care of the rest. That's how I live my life. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay,
Ready, catch.
Can everyone hear me? I'm not very good, apparently, at talking loud. Am I good? Okay. So out of curiosity, how many of you guys in here have been in the business less than 2 years? How many of you guys are on really shoestring tight budgets? Okay. So when Amanda asked me to come, I was actually really surprised that I was one of the speakers because, like she said, I've only had an agency for 1 year. And so we're brand new, but we're growing really fast. And the type of grassroots marketing we do is like legitimately $0 marketing. It's all focused. I mean, like, we have 2 locations right now.
That's awesome.
We have 7 agents working for us, and I'm not lying. We don't even have a sign on the door. On either location, we don't have a sign on the door because we don't have the budget for it yet. So we just tell people, hey, look, it's the old dentist office. Just look for it on Google because we're not even on Google yet. So the things that I'm going to go through with you guys, this is legitimately anyone can do it. You just have to put the time and you have to put the investment into it. But you don't have to spend money to be really successful in the business. So did anybody wake up and say you wanted to get into insurance? Right? Like something happened in your life at some point and you were introduced in the business, and maybe some of you went in it because you wanted to make money, maybe some of you went in it because you had to. I feel like I'm one of those people that had to go into the business, and it has massively influenced how I do my business. So for me, about 10 years ago, I was going into grad school. My degree is in international economics and affairs, very insurance-like. I had big plans of saving the world, making a big difference, and then I woke up one day and my daughter, who was 8 years old at the time, best I can say is she was a different child. It took us 8 months of going to different doctors, trying to figure out what's wrong, before this random nurse, someone I still don't know who she is. My kid had gone from being extremely outgoing, very playful, to she was afraid to leave the house. She was extremely sick. She had almost got to the point to where she could no longer walk. And no one could tell me what was wrong. So I had to drop out of school. You can't work, really, when you're like that. So I needed something that I could do from home. And someone introduced me to insurance. So here we are, specialists after specialists. No one can tell us what's going on. At the same time, because I dropped out of school, I had to drop out of work. I started working part-time for a friend of mine who owned an insurance company. We had to go on Medicaid. So I don't know how many of you guys have dealt with Medicaid with your clients. The week that my daughter got sick, we had a Medicaid crisis in our state, and every Medicaid provider went on strike. So what normally with Medicaid takes about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you guys know, sometimes those Medicaid providers are harder to get appointments with, now went to a 9 to a 12-month waiting period. My kid couldn't walk. I couldn't wait 12 months to figure out what was wrong with her. So I started calling my friends. I started calling people that I kind of knew. I started going on Facebook and looking through doctors that I wanted to get in with and seeing, do I have any friends in common with that doctor? How can I get in with that doctor? So I built my own network. I asked favors from people. My kid is really sick. You're a receptionist with this doctor who knows this doctor. Can you get me in? And then I had friends who told me, hey, look, this is the billing issue that you're having. This is why you're not getting in. You need to go through this way. So as I'm doing this, it was the first time I ever had to deal with networks. It was the first time I ever had to deal with prior approvals. I had never used insurance before because you don't need insurance until you need insurance, right? Uh-huh. So the things that I learned through that process is what we implement into the business every single day. You have to prep your people and you have to prepare for crisis situations. So let me get back to my notes so I don't get super distracted.
Tabitha. There you go. Put it closer. Close enough.
Okay. Is this better? Sorry. Okay. So here I am with my sick daughter, constantly worrying, is she going to die? Because I can't get into a doctor. Because I can't figure out how my insurance works. It was kind of ridiculous because I was working for an insurance company selling insurance, and I could not even figure out how to get my own kids' insurance to work. So I have a different perspective than many people do about insurance and when we started the agency. So all of this has helped me become a better agent. It's helped me train my agents how to be a better agent. It taught me, going through this with my daughter, your chronically ill clients, they're not purposely not showing up to appointments. They're mentally, emotionally, and physically exhausted because I was there. I didn't pay bills because I was just tired. So as we're going through this, I start connecting with more and more different doctors' offices. I start making connections as they're helping me. And now I'm seeing my clients of my own that are going through this with their Medicare. And that's when I realized the kind of agency that I wanted to build. I saw all these crisis moments that my clients were having, and I saw the crisis moment that I was going through, and I wanted to figure out a way to fix those crisis moments. So that's how I started what I'm most known for. Where's Amanda? There she is. That's what what I'm most known for, which is a program. It's called Bringing Back the Village. So in Bringing Back the Village, we have underneath of us, this has never cost me a penny of money, but I have connected over 40 different businesses together. And then we work together when we see clients. It's sort of like almost like a B&I in a way for professionals. So we're able to connect people. Hey, you are also going to need some estate planning. Let me hook you up with an estate planner. I'm going to personally call them, set the appointment up for you. Is your mom in nursing home care right now? Let me show you how you can help get that paid for. Do you need grant money for your mom who's going through dementia? Let me connect you with someone that can hook you up with a grant. We did all of that, built this entire business, laying in bed at night, bawling, crying, because I was completely broke. I could not work. There was no way I could go to work with my sick daughter. But what I could do was Facebook message people. I could call people. I could ask my friends to introduce me to other people. So when all of you guys are setting and you're trying to think about ways to spend money or you're trying to think about ways to connect, don't forget about just the personal touch. 40 businesses now are invested in me simply because I took the time to connect them. So that's what I want to talk about, the type of grassroots marketing that we're doing. I think it's a little bit different than maybe what other people consider grassroots marketing. Can you still hear me okay? So when we're going through this, a couple of things I want you to think about. This is 1 year's worth of growth because I have been on my own for a year. But this is 10 years of working for someone else, and I never thought I was going to go off on my own, ever. But I took notes for 10 years. What do I think is working? What do I think is not working? If I was in charge, what would I do different? And this is 10 years of working in the community, building relationships with different businesses, different providers. So if you take where you are right now, regardless of how long you've been on your own, where you can be 10 years from now does not have to be about spending a ton of money. It's about changing the way that you interact with people and then making a difference in people's lives. I know that's like cliche.
It's not, though.
It's not.
It is not. Not at all.
Yeah, it's really about being an impactful person in your community. I have to keep notes, sorry.
And to go with what you're saying, Tabitha, people are coming into you to see you for a life change. All their life, they've been working for a company or doing whatever, getting their insurance, and they're saying, okay, you get 3 plans, pick a plan, that's what you get. Now they're retiring or turning 65, and they have to figure out what exactly is a deductible, what exactly is a max out of pocket, how are my copays, and so they trust her, they trust us. Be that trusted person.
Yeah, 100%. That's what.
Eat your microphone.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Okay.
There you go. You're welcome, guys.
All right. All right, so when we're going to talk about grassroots marketing now, my take on grassroots marketing is, like I said, it's a little bit different than others. I want to focus on the how, not as much as the what to do. Because the what to do, you guys have amazing examples of what to do. All I did for most of mine was I looked at Amanda's posts, I looked at other successful agents' posts, other successful businesses. You can copy the what. But there's a reason Sally in Nebraska and Sally in West Virginia are doing the exact what?
Did you just...
I think it's...
There you go.
All right. There's a reason Sally in Nebraska and Sally in West Virginia are doing the exact same what's, but they're going to have 2 very, very different outcomes. And it's not because of what they're doing, it's because of how they are doing it. So I have this philosophy that we talk about all the time in our agency, and
all right. We need to change battery. Oh, he's got a different one here. And we have your questions. I promise we'll get to them, but she's going to answer a lot of them as well.
Better?
There you go.
Okay. All right, so we have this philosophy that we call lazy prospecting.
I like it.
Everything you should be doing is based around the idea of being lazy with your prospecting. When done, it sounds crazy because in the beginning, it's a lot of really, really hard work. But once you get the foundation down, you just sit back and let other people do all the prospecting for you. And that's what I want to cover today. Should have done a PowerPoint like you.
No, seriously, that's the first time I've ever done it. It was so I stayed on track. Seriously, it was not for you guys. It was so I didn't chase squirrels.
All right, so if you do lazy prospecting correctly, this is what you're doing. And it's the same concept. If you're looking for centers of influence, if you're working with referral partners, and then if you're working with your clients, if you set this up correctly, what you're teaching everyone in your audience to do is to look for leads for you. Look for people who need your help. And then you got to teach them how to qualify your leads for you. Do you guys know what that means when you're qualifying? Is this someone who's worthy or who actually needs time and who's actually going to use this help correctly? And then you're going to teach these people when you're lazy prospecting how to overcome the objections of the people that need you. And then the final step is once they have found them, once they have qualified them, once they have overcome the objections, then they send them to you. Is that not a lot easier than sitting on the phone and calling 100 people every hour? When your phone is being rang by people who have been referred to you, and they're able to say, I know you do this and this and this, and this is a specific area that I need help with. When can I come in and see you? Like, that would make your job a lot easier, right?
It's easier to sell somebody who's calling you than it is for you to sell somebody you're calling. Think about it.
So to go with the theme of Medicare and Margaritas, we're sticking with the So what we call this, we wrote this on the way down here, is we want all of you guys to become agents. All right, so what that means is every single contact, every single interaction that you have with a center of influence, with a referral partner, or with a client should have 4 M's in it. It should be memorable, meaningful. I cheated on this one, and I put impactful. Still has the M, but impactful.
I mean, you're from West Virginia, so you can be like, impactful.
Yeah,
it's all right. I like that, right?
And it should be motivational. Before I go on, do you guys know the difference between a center of influence and a referral partner? Yeah, everyone good? Okay. All right.
No, they do not. Tabitha, no.
Okay.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah. So a center of influence is someone who has a large platform. Best way of thinking about those is maybe pastors, group leaders of different types of networks, nonprofit people, and then a referral partner is someone that you work with, like a doctor or a Medicaid specialist. So center of influence is more someone who's kind of elevated, like the mayor of a town, someone that has a position of authority who can speak on a large platform. Like I have pastors that I work with. Every single AEP they put out on Facebook, everyone make sure you go see my girl for all your insurance needs. So then all their church people call me. That is a center of influence.
Your local Chamber of Commerce?
Chamber of Commerce. Those powerful position people. And then a referral partner is more someone that you exchange with. You give them referrals, they give you referrals. And then you have your agents or your clients that you work with.
Do you pay your referral partners? Like, we don't pay our referral partners at all. It's just what we do. Do you pay your referral partners?
So when I first started, I worked with several disability attorneys, like going back years ago. I paid them when I first started, and then I don't pay any of them anymore because I thought I had to pay them, because why would they want to work with me if they're not making anything out of it? I have since learned the people you really want to work with are never going to want money from you. They just want to know they can trust you. And that's something I talk about a little bit more. All right, so memorable, the first M. Don't be bland. Be who you are. Like, you have to legitimately be who you are. If you know me, you know I'm really quirky is the best way, quirky, right? Best way of describing me. I'm quirky with my clients. I'm quirky with my referral partners. I'm quirky just in general. I'm a weird person.
Are you quirky with your kid?
My kid is so embarrassed of me.
I love
all
it.
the time.
So
all the time.
Totally off topic for a second, and I have to know because it's in my head and I'm a squirrel. Is your daughter okay?
Oh.
Sorry, guys, but I need to know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was talking about it, and then I didn't go back to it. So this random nurse comes in, and she says to me, "You've been in here a lot in the last 8 months, and I think I know what's wrong with your daughter. Is that rude of me to come in?" And so she set me up for a referral with someone. I don't even, like, when the referral called me, I was like, I didn't book this appointment. I almost didn't go. So I go to the appointment, and yeah, they figured out what was wrong. She had actually had strep throat, and it had caused her brain to swell. And so we went through probably 8 years of treatments.
From strep?
From strep throat.
Wow.
So take strep throat very serious.
So
yeah, we
okay.
went through 8 years of treatment, and she is now going to college on her own in the fall. So.
Good job, Mama. Yeah. Good job.
But that random nurse, that's where I was going with that story earlier. That random nurse who crossed the line She should not have read my file. She crossed the line, gave me my daughter's life back. She would have died if this random person had not been obtrusive and crossed what she was supposed to do. So I take that serious now in our job, and that's a lot of what the Bringing Back the Village side is. My job is not just to do your insurance. I'm going to cross the line with you.
You're not crossing the line. You're doing what's right.
Yeah.
That nurse did what was right in her heart.
Absolutely. And so don't be afraid of saying things that may be uncomfortable or setting yourself out there. I would not have my daughter today if someone hadn't done that. So it's important to take what you're doing, what you know, and what you see serious. So going back to being memorable, I'm quirky. You're going to remember me because I'm weird.
You're not weird. You're beautiful.
I'm super weird. Just spend time with me.
Your team's over there shaking their head, by the way.
Am I weird? Yeah. Yes.
But they're your quirky
super
people.
Weird. But I'm also really memorable for what I do. I prep all of my clients. They don't get surprises with me. I prepare them. I say, this is what's going to happen. These are the next steps. And then you know what? When it happens, they call me and they're like, you know what? You told me this was going to happen. I don't get angry phone calls from them. You didn't explain this. They go, thank you for telling me I was going to have this experience and I was prepared for it. I save my clients lots and lots of money by learning programs that are available. How many of you guys have watched my 340B program training? It changes people's lives just by teaching them about that. I introduce all of my clients to different programs and different people that can impact their lives. They remember me for that because I went beyond and above. My centers of influence and my referral partners, they know that when they send people to me, their clients are going to be taken care of. And what that does for them in return is it's going to boost their authority. It's going to boost their standing in the community because then they're able to trust in me that I'm going to make them look better for it. So you have to be memorable, both for your personality and for the difference that you make in their life.
And it's important as she turns the page that we are all different. We all have different styles. I know I'm a lot for some people, and that's okay. But that's what makes it beautiful is she's quirky, and she owns it. I'm a little much, and I own it. You know, and there are all of us that make this beautiful world go round, and the people that you resonate with best are going to come to you because they resonate with you, okay? So how she does it, how I do it your way, okay?
Yeah, I mean, we have different people on our team that I know right away when that client comes in, I am the wrong person because they're going to think my quirkiness is a turnoff. So I have my straight-laced people. I'm like, this one's all yours. They're not going to like me. And then when some of the straight-laced people get quirky people, they're like, dude, this one's yours. Like, you need to take over this one.
And it's not diminishing your value and who you are. That actually takes a stronger person to say, hey, you know what? You need to meet with my husband and not me. Or you need to meet with my wife, you know, or your team. It takes a stronger person to do that than it is to just power through.
Don't change yourself to make someone else comfortable.
Exactly.
Find your people that love you. So the second M in that is meaningful. I make my time with every single client, every single center of influence, and every referral partner matter. One, I keep up with their family. I keep up with what's going on with them. You take notes in your agency block about different things about their family, and then you ask them about it. You keep up. I know like some of you guys probably feel weird about this, but I invite every single client to like me on Facebook.
Not weird.
I want to invite them into my family. I want them to feel like they're a part of what I'm doing. I also don't waste their time. Every interaction I have with them is about making their life better. If I can't provide value to them, I'm not calling them, I'm not wasting their time, I'm not having them stop by the office for something they don't need. If you can't make their life better by taking the time out to spend with you, then why are you spending time with them? Do something impactful with them every time they see you. With my centers of influence and my referral partners, I make sure I send them clients constantly. I make sure I fix every issue that comes to me. I may not be the one that knows how to fix it, but I am known as the girl. I don't really know what you do, but someone told me you could fix this. Yeah, I'll fix it. I'll figure it out. So be that person that fixes issues. And then I make sure every person that works with me, I take that serious, and I enhance their credibility also by working with me, because I do what I say I'm going to do.
Absolutely. And we thank our referral partners too. I mean, we send them a thank you. We send them an edible arrangement. You know, not all the time, but once a year. We send one to the school. You know, thank your partners. You're good.
All right, so the third one is impactful. Just point blank, your life is going to be better if you work with me. I know that. I know every person that comes into our office, their life will be better for working with me. I'm going to give you guys a hint that I swear has made the biggest difference in our business. When we have someone that comes to us and we can't help them, we show them why. Listen, you're on employee coverage. You don't like it? Let me show you why you should love that employee coverage. And I compare it with what I could do for them, what someone else can do, and then what they have. And then when they leave my office, they're like,
oh,
yeah, I am way better where I am. She just spent an hour working with me for no reason. And then when they're leaving, I say, do you feel better now? Are you glad that you came? Are you glad knowing you are on the absolute best, just staying where you are? Don't you wish your friends could feel that way too? Yes, I do.
And then you give them a hug.
Mm-hmm. And they send you referral partners. We have people, or they send you their friends. Literally have people show up. And I said, what are we doing today? I don't know. Susie told me to be here, so I'm here. Okay. And then the point is that when they leave your office, they're better. They're better off because they know where they stand. And go ahead.
Nope. I was just going to help you with the page turn, like fill a weird, awkward silence.
All right, so then finally, every single interaction should be about motivation. Your clients, your referral partners, and your centers of influence, every single interaction should be motivation for them to support your business, to support what you're doing. So you have to think about this in different ways, because different people are going to support you in different ways. Some people are going to send you referrals. Some people are going to support you just by keeping their business with you. Some people are going to share you on social media. Some people will leave reviews. Some people are going to tell their doctors about you or their pastors about you. Some people are going to invite you to come in and talk to their church. They're going to invite you to come in and talk to their women's club. The point is, there are many, many different ways to get your community to support you. But if you do not tell them all the different ways they can support you, how are they going to know? So I think sometimes people can get upset. I'm not getting referrals. I'm not getting invited in. Are you asking? I mean, really, are you asking them? Are you telling them the different ways that they can support you? Are you motivating enough to where they want more people to feel the way that you made them feel? If you focus on that feeling, on the interactions that they're having with you, then they're going to want to share that with other people. And that doesn't cost anything at all to work like that. It's just building a sense of community behind it. So motivate your clients to share you.
So a question is, how do you handle the under 65 spouses?
So we just started ACA. We're still pretty new to it. So up until this point, we've used a referral partner.
Okay.
But we just started doing that ourselves.
So that question was asked, and we handle it ourselves. We've been doing ACA, well, before ACA was ACA. And we do short-term plans, and we handle that because eventually that person's going to turn 65. I want them to stay with us. I want them in-house. We never used to talk about ACA because I didn't want to do it because it was awful. But it has gotten better over the years, and it's not that hard. So we handle it ourselves.
All right, another thing that I think you guys should think about is the thing that I hear a lot from different insurance agents is, what's my return on investments? How much do I get if I do a mailer? How many responses do I have to get? How many appointments am I going to get? Blah, 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 whatever. What is my return on investment? How many of you guys have ever asked yourself, what is your client's return on investment for working with you? What are they getting out of it? What do they get out of referring you? What about centers of influence? What is their return on it? If they invest in you and they put their name behind you, what are they getting out of it? Are you worth the return on investment? So going back again to different ways of support, return on investment is going to matter too. Some people want prestige. They want to be able to say, I know Tabitha. I've known her forever. And that's what they want. So they're looking for the branding idea of saying that they know someone. Some people want to make a difference. They want to be able to say, I helped my friend Susie by referring her, and her life is better simply because I referred her to someone. Got to flip the page again.
But she's branding, and that's what we're all doing. We're branding ourselves. I mean, we love the insurance companies, that they are great at branding, but if you're a broker and you have them all, yeah, Myers Family Insurance, we're a broker. Tabitha's business, they're a broker.
We are Just Us. Retirement solution.
I love it.
Just us. My best friend of 14 years texted me last week and literally said, oh my God, your name is a play off your last name.
I love your friend.
She's quirky like me. She's my friend, you know?
It's awesome.
All right, so, and then some people are going to want referrals in return. So when you're looking for people, are you looking for different ways to motivate your clients, your partners to invest in you? As an example, when you're making a social media post, are you just posting, I sell Medicare, call me? Right. And then you're surprised when it doesn't get 1,500 shares and a bunch of comments.
If you get 1,500 shares, I want to know what you're doing.
Follow me and see.
I already do.
There's no motivation behind that. There's no motivation to share it. So first you got to build a brand to go with it. Because there's some people who are just, again, they want the prestige part of sharing you. So have a brand that they want to be able to share. Like, this is who I use. I'm part of this community. Some people want to just help people. So include in every social media post a way that they can help people. By sharing this, we can change the lives of, you know, whatever it is. However many people in your community need help. Give them ways that they can make a difference.
And when you see that on one of your, somebody who's here, Amanda makes a post, Joe makes a post, whatever, comment on it. That's great. That's awesome. Good job. Way to go. Just a word, your comment means more, and we'll get that post shown more, which helps her. And in return, she's going to do that for you, as I will as too. So we're here to help each other do that.
Yes, support, share, comment. All that stuff just helps everyone else. Talk about what a good job they're doing. Your friends will do it for you also. And make sure you're doing that to your business partners and your centers of influence. If you want them to support you, you better be supporting them. So every single thing that we've talked about is free. There is no money involved. We have literally never done a single piece of advertising other than seminars. Nothing. We're able to support 7 agents. Like I said, we don't even have signs up on the building. And it's just because of the way that we treat people, the grassroots marketing that we do, lazy prospecting, having people go out and do that work for you. So there's no excuse, like, it doesn't cost you $5 to mail someone or to email someone or to send someone a message. So I want to give like a little example. I felt really dumb about something that I did last week. I was humiliated by what I did. And the more I thought about it, I was like, oh, actually, that kind of makes me feel good about myself. So I did a seminar 2 weeks ago on Medicare and retirement. So we don't just do Medicare, we also do retirement planning. We have a partner that works with that. So I like doing public speaking, so I'll do about long-term care, annuities, retirement planning. So we had this couple that came in. I thought they were from the seminar. I thought I recognized them from the seminar. So they come in and I was like, hey guys, how are you? What's going on? They sit down. And I was like, so what do you guys want to talk about today? Like, what's really important to you? And in my mind, I'm thinking, you just attended a 3-hour seminar from me. There's something on your mind you want to talk about. And so they were like, well, you know, we're concerned about Medicare and long-term care and how all that kind of plays in. That makes sense, right? Because they're from the seminar. They sit in my office 3.5 hours, and we print off all of their IRA statements. We start long-term care. They have about $3 million. They start talking about how they can invest it. 3.5 hours later, the guy says to me, I don't know your name. Can you give me your name? And I looked at him and I was like, oh, Tabitha, you were at the seminar, right? And he goes, no, 3 people told me that if I came to you, you'd help me. So that's based off of my brand. That's based off of me. If you can just walk up to someone off the street and they hand you $3 million and say, invest it for me, and they don't even know your name other than the name of the business, that's really powerful. It makes me think I should just start walking up to strangers and asking them.
Compliance issue. Yeah, can't do that.
Well.
Told you I was the most hated person.
Any questions?
So I have some questions here, and I love the fact that you said, you know, you spent no money on that and so forth. I did the opposite. I maxed out credit cards. We were $50,000 in debt, but we are now debt-free. Okay? So I owe on my Jeep, and I owe on our house and our business location, but that's it. Like we don't have any credit card debt, we don't do any of that. Because yes, it sucked, it hurt, it did, but I knew that it would work.
I put rents on credit cards for months. I mean, we did have a lot of debt.
So it was similar, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
we just didn't put ourselves in debt with marketing aspects, but there's a lot to a business.
There is. There's a lot that goes behind the scenes. And you know what, though? If I had to do it again, I'd do it all over the same way. Absolutely, hands down, every time. Because I love my life. So marketing items, they ask, you know, what company do you use for marketing? We use Promos Unlimited, which is a local company. So again, we support our local business. We try to get everything local. You can do a lot of stuff online. Just keep in mind, like, I'm a person that I like to have a person. I like to be able to call so-and-so and say, this is what we want. And unfortunately, there's a lot of turnover on that. If you're looking for promotional items, there's one place that you can go to find all the companies in the world. Google. Right, Google it.
And one marketing thing that I use carrier stuff because they'll give it for free, and that's all I have.
Put your label on it.
Yeah, I just have my name and number on it, and that's what I use. But one thing that I did use that was really cool was a client of mine. She did it as a gift, but she created these little wooden plaques that you could hang up on your wall, and it said, "Take me home, West Virginia," or "Take me home, Country Roads," and it had a little red truck on it. And then when you flipped it over, she put my name and number on the back of it. That has probably brought me more business than anything, and I just mailed them all out to my clients.
So we also do the dinners, and they work great. They are wonderful. We love them. We've already set up for the next quarter, you know, the rest of this year through AEP, the same thing. So I definitely encourage those dinners as well. A couple questions are, I'm looking to grow my team, but clients and prospects want to talk to me. How do you handle the pass off of a team member? Oh, this is such a good question. Do you want to go first?
So I have a smaller team, so maybe mine's a little bit different. We do a lot of seminars, so I pick a different agent for each seminar. That agent calls everyone. That agent greets everyone at the door. That agent talks to everyone during the meeting. And then I make sure I say, this is the person who's going to be calling you to schedule the appointment. And then if they really say they just want to meet with me, I bring an agent in with me, and we start the appointment off together. And then I say, I have to dip out for a minute, but they're going to take really good care of you. That's how we do it. I hope to change that to a better process eventually.
It's kind of the same thing. I mean, it just depends on the situation. I'm doing better at bringing my husband in to these seminars, and they just have to know that you trust that person just as much. So when they call in with a service question, you know, my favorite one is when somebody calls in, they want to make an appointment, but they only want to talk to you to make that appointment. So I get them, you know, I get on the phone, oh, okay, what's going on? Find it out. Oh, you just want to make an appointment? Great. Heather handles my calendar. My team knows what I'm doing better than I do. Let me get you back to them. And I transfer it back to my team. Because that way it shows that reiteration. They would need to order a card. I tell them, you know what? I don't remember how to do it. I honestly don't. I don't want to. I want to help people. So you know what? Let me get you to Heather, and she'll help you get that card ordered. Or get you to Adam. Like, you have to be able to delegate those things, and it's not pushing them off, but you're retraining them to help you with that, okay? And like the new campaign that we're working on that we're fixing, the Make It Stop campaign. Right, that's why I'm mentioning it, is I'm bringing my whole team in. We're all there, we're all talking about it, we're all in it together. And I tell them, you know what, fill this information out on this paper, mail it in, give it to your director, whatever it is, and Kim will help take care of it. And Kim's the one in charge. Like, I tee it up, and then she keeps talking through it. To answer the question about the exercise with the waivers, when I say exercise, I use that as a very loose term. I mean, this is what we're doing. Okay. Hold that as best you can for 5. It's okay. Hold on to the chair if you need to. Lean onto it. Okay, good. All right. Let's switch to the other side. You know what? If you need to have that chair in front of you, go ahead and do that. That's okay. And, put those legs up. All right. Grab that stress ball. That's exercise. Okay, guys? Don't overthink it, really. Don't make this more difficult than it really is. You're trying to take something small and make it a molehill. Don't do that. Keep it simple, all right? Keep it simple. How long do you give agents to get licensed? Do you bring them on prior? I think that's something we're going to talk about later in this week. Tabitha, how do you let people know about your seminars if you don't advertise?
So I do advertise for those. I mean, that's the only thing. We send out mailers for those. I don't do it on Facebook. We do hire a company that sends out mailers for us.
Okay. And then, let's see. What do you do about people who are under 65 that need ACA, that have high income but hate ACA and don't want it? Absolutely.
Also, the Bringing Back the Village, we do seminars through that. So we work as a BNI for experts already. But our main thing that we do is we do free workshops and seminars on how to be a better community for seniors. So we go into churches, doctors' offices, hospitals, libraries, and then we do 4 months worth of seminars. So we have the church, the library, something else advertising for us. They pay for all the advertising, and then we speak free at the event.
One of the things that we did, and I'm going to turn this over back to Amanda after I say this, we get involved with our community, all right? I'm on the board of the Chamber of Commerce. All I started out was as a marketing sponsor with them. I just was a Chamber of Commerce member. That was it. But I got involved in the community. I got involved with the sports with the kids. Those kids' sports things, they cost like $100, guys. They're not much, all right? And Grandma and Grandpa see them, the parents see them, they're washing laundry. You're just building that recognition that, oh, that's the person I need to call. People call us for PNC. I don't do PNC. It says right in our logo, Medicare, health, retirement. But you know what? I love that they're calling me for PNC, okay? Because of all of that hard work, and this is what I was telling earlier, and I'm super, 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 super excited about this. The Columbiana County Area Action Agency, they are the Medicaid office, essentially, for lack of better words, for Columbiana County. We just got back yesterday a signed contract with them. They approached me, by the way. I did not approach them. They approached me. That we are now their exclusive referral partner, that anybody who needs help with their health insurance or their Medicare, they will get on the phone with us and get that appointment scheduled with them through the Medicaid office. If those people are Medicaid eligible, we have a special BAT line number for those people to call to get enrolled in Medicaid. So we are now the exclusive referral partner for the county for Medicare. So that's freaking awesome. Sorry, Liddy, where are you? I don't know where you're at in the room, but we got that because it's a big deal. They approached us. They said, what do you do? How do you do it? We see you all the time. People talk about you. How do you do it? And so we talked to them. I just told them, this is what I do. And she's like, okay, we need to have something written up in contract. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So yeah, I'll never see that. She sent it to me, she's like, sign it, send it back. And I was like, whatever. Well, she signed it, sent it back, and it's officially official. So we're super, super, super excited. So I tell you that because now people are going to call us. It's easier for her to sell somebody who's calling you than you calling them. So just be a good person. Don't be sucky. Help people. The Make It Stop campaign is something that is super easy to do. You're being a resource to the community. You're getting out there. You're getting involved. And it doesn't cost you any money. And it's all because Amanda is trying to make a difference in our industry. She's trying to get rid of the sucky agents and help us all be better and help especially the beneficiaries. How great would it be if our phone never rang anymore about Are you, I'm calling from the Medicare Service Center. I'm calling from the Medicare Department of blah, blah, blah insurance company. Well, guess what? We're going to make those calls stop, but not without your help and Amanda's brainchild.
Thanks, Ann. Thanks,
Thank
Tabitha.
you, Amanda, for having us. Really, thank you. All right, it's really awkward being up here, so I'm going to go sit down.
I was going to say, yeah.
I love you, bye. Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I see a lot of wiggles in the seats,
girlfriend.
and I promise I will go ahead and make this real short because we are about, 35 minutes behind schedule.
Oops.
Yeah. So,
was it
do
worth
me a
it?
favor, open up your folders and pull out this pamphlet for me. If you do not have them, look at your neighbor and they will help you with this. Or look at it when you get back, or grab one from one of my ladies and they have some of these also. Okay, so the Make It Stop stuff. Basically, it's about the unsolicited calls that your clients are getting. Y'all are having your clients complain about that, right? Okay. So I'm one of 19 people in the country that work on the NABIP Medicare Advisory Group. What that is it is a select group of agents, and we work with CMS and with Congress to be your voice when it comes to the issues that we see within the community. You all were in an uproar last year, or last AEP, about these calls and make them stop, right? We got to figure out a way how to do that. I heard things from going, well, I bought whistles and I have my seniors blowing whistles in there when they make the phone call, to I'm calling them and getting their name and their NPN, and I'm threatening them, telling them that, this is illegal and I'm turning them in. I've heard all sorts of things. Very long story short, what ended up happening is I went to the MAG team call, which we have every month, and said, we as an organization need to figure out a way to work on this because it's a problem. The unsolicited, or the call recordings that you guys are currently doing actually is tied into this particular problem. And what I mean by that is that, and I know I've stood up and told countless rooms of thousands of agents that when you have somebody doing wrong activity, and even if it is these calls, what you need to do is do what? Call CMS, right? And I've been saying that for a while. Well, I bring this up on the MAG call, and they say, well, CMS is actually saying, yeah, that's not exactly where these need to go, because CMS doesn't have the power to go ahead and do anything with it, which is leading to the frustration that you all have that nothing's being done. It's getting worse, it's not getting better, right? So what ends up happening is I said, okay, well, where do they need to go? Get out your notebooks. I am going to teach you, 1, the why of what's happening, 2, how to go ahead and work with this out in your community, and 3, how it's going to make you feel better. Okay? So what you need to do is or where they need to go is actually to the FCC, Frank Charlie Charlie. Okay? What happens, and this is a couple of fold. The first thing that we need to do to fight fire with fire is teach our seniors about the do not call list. The do not call list is real easy. What you're going to do is go out into the community, because you all want access to be able to get into various centers of influence, whether it is a senior community facility, whether it's a senior center. You can talk to your financial advisors about it, you name it. What you want to do is say, hey, we're all being bothered by these unsolicited calls. I'm going to help educate the community on going ahead and getting it to stop. So A couple of minutes ago, I was talking about how CMS, we were calling into CMS and doing these complaints. The TPMO rule, third-party marketing organization rule that came out last AEP that is triggering these call recordings, the reason why that is happening is CMS manages like normal businesses do, because the government is a business, and they manage by report. So what happened is they went, oh my God, we have 50-some thousand complaints. We need to make it stop in this one bucket. The bucket is all the call centers and the independent insurance agents. The problem is that we are not carved out of that bucket, which is why we are included into the TPMO definition. That's why they're recording the calls. Now, what ends up happening is that when CMS said, hey, we have a problem here because you guys are submitting the information for the complaint and we can't research it because we don't have the ability. So you're claiming that there's a problem, but we really don't know that the problem exists. Yeah, go figure, right? So what ends up happening is, as I said, I'm on this MAG call, and I'm bringing this up, and the head of that group, Mike Smith from the brokerage, says, Amanda, you want to go ahead and work on this project, use your mouth, and you do it. But do it on your own. We need to see what happens, and then we'll go ahead and we'll pick it up. So if you haven't figured out by now, I have a big mouth. A real big mouth. And it's working to our advantage, okay? So you now have a problem where we as agents look as though we are the big bad people because we're lumped in with the call center. We have a stereotype problem, which is what Ann was talking about earlier. We also have an outbound call issue. So now we're going to solve both of it. So what happens is I said, okay, well, let's take a look at it. So my team designed this pamphlet. And what we did is we rolled it out in Cleveland, and we are actually having a hell of a lot of success with this. And I'm going to tell you how. So the pamphlet starts out by talking about the do not call. And it's real easy. They can either call the 800 number or they go to donotcall.gov and they enter in their phone number. That does not expire. Here's why you want to do this. And you personally want to do this if you're getting any call that you do not request. You go to donotcall.gov, you put in the phone number, it's going to shoot back an email to verify. Once you verify that email with the do not call, that phone number is now on the DNC list. Do you know what happens to the people that call numbers that are on the DNC list? It is a $10,000 fine for every violation that they do. So we're going to get them with their pocketbook, okay? With any kind of solicitation that it is. If you did not request the information and they call you, that is a $10,000 fine, flat out. And most of these seniors are not requesting this information. Otherwise, they wouldn't be screaming as loud as they are. So that's the first piece of the puzzle. Again, you can do it either by donotcall.gov or by using the phone number. The next thing is that, Shelley? Right. Hold your horses. So what's going to end up happening is that once that happens, a little too fast. So once that happens and somebody calls when you're on the do not call list, you are going to teach them the next page of this. And there's two ways to do it. They can either go to the fcc.gov website to file the complaint, or they can use the form that is there. Now, a lot of my agents, when they meet with their individual clients, they give out folders, and what I recommend that you do is you print out that form so that that way it's there, and if they don't have a computer, they can fill out the information. Now, here's the thing. Most of you go ahead and say, well, but Amanda, normally half the time they don't know who's calling, they don't know what's going on, and they don't know the number. All of the phones nowadays have caller ID, right? There are only 4 pieces of information that you need to file a complaint. That's it, 4. Write them down. First one and 2, date and time. When did that call take place? The next one, what showed up on the caller ID? Is it just the number? Does it say that it's Medicare calling? Does it say that it's Medicaid? Is it Social Security? Is it Billy Bob Smith Agency? Who is it that's showing up on the caller ID? Next piece, when they actually answer the phone, who did they say they were? Who did they say they were? Caller ID says that it's Billy Bob's agency, but yet they're saying, hi, this is Sam from Medicare calling about your plan. Who did they say they were when you called? If you have those pieces of information, you can file the complaint. That's all you got. And guys, if they are using a cell phone, you can pull up that. The question that I get is, well, but if it comes up spam? Go into spam. If you're using an iPhone, there's the circle with the eye on it. Hit that button, and then it will show you the number that is calling. So in that respect, you have the number that's calling, and what's coming up on the caller ID? Spam. And then when they answer, that's who. Then you write that down. So there's only 4 pieces of information that you need to be able to do this and file the complaint. Now, if they get more information than that, great. The more detail that they have, the better that it is. Now, what does this do? Going into your community. If you're going into your community and doing like many of the carrier reps and other FMOs teach you, and going, hi, I want to go ahead and teach a Medicare 101 because I can save your people a lot of money. Normally, that coordinator is going to look at you and go, get the hell out of my office. But if I walk in there and say, you know what, I know that the people that are in your facility, their phones are blowing up like no tomorrow, and I know that they're frustrated on it. I have the way to go ahead and fix this. Let me do a lunch and learn, and for 15 minutes, I can go over and get them all registered on the Do Not Call. I can show them the federal websites and fix this problem. That makes you look as though you are the solution, not the problem, which is what we all want, right? Now add on top of that it looks as though, you know that bucket that I was talking about where we are underneath the call center and the independent agent? It looks as though us as the independent agent want no part of this violation stuff that is going on, and we are, again, the solution, not the problem. So, remember when I said that NABIB said, hey, go out and try this on your own, see if it works, and then eventually we'll hook ourselves up? Remember when I said that I have a big mouth? I had a really good week last week, guys. The National Vice President of Legislative Affairs for Health Underwriters, or NABIP, John Green, and I were at a mutual conference last week. We were doing the Georgia Medicare Summit in Atlanta. And he asked me, he goes, what is it that you got going on? And I showed him this brochure. He says, Amanda, I need you to send this to me. I'm going to cry again. This brochure is going up in front of CMS. It is going to go ahead and show that we are the solution, we are not the problem. And we are providing good within the community and benefiting the seniors. We are not a part of the stereotype that I am trying to change. So, here's the thing, and many of you have seen me publish this or a sample of it on social media. Because this is going in front of CMS, I will customize this with your information on it and provide you a locked copy of this if you want to use it and do an outreach campaign. The first thing that I need to tell you is you need to bear with me because it's a little popular at the moment because, again, my big mouth, shocker. So give me a couple of weeks to get these. We'll get them in as fast as needed. What you need to do is email me your contact information. What's contact information do I need? Look at the brochure. I need your name, your address, your email, your website, and if you have a logo, send it. I need the files. And then I will build the locked one. And I've had several people ask, well, can I create my own? Can't you just send me the other one and just send the mass file out? My answer is no, and here's why. This is going in front of the government. We are working on affecting change. We are working on affecting legislation. I will not risk what it is that I'm building on the chance that somebody gets that copy, manipulates it, and now it's non-compliant, and somehow it lands in the wrong hand. So I would rather that you use my copy. My logos and things will not be on it. It will be yours. But then I know what you're using is compliant, and I do not have to worry about it getting in the wrong hands right now. But this is huge. This is also me saying, if you feel helpless in this industry, one, get involved. You have the stuff for NABIP in your thing. There's a $50 off membership. I highly recommend that you get involved. The other one is that use your mouth. Don't think as though you are insignificant in this industry and that you don't matter. Because if I can do this, so can you. You can. So with that, I'm going to stop. We are going to very, very quickly go run, use the restroom real quick in 5 minutes. Once I can get everybody remiked, we will go ahead and pick up with social media. There will be a Q&A panel for this, for all of your questions. And then there will also be a second Q&A tomorrow, which we can ask all sorts of questions at. So please take 5 minutes and we'll come back. So please whip out your phones. The next session that we're going to do is on social media, and you guys have a ridiculous amount of questions in regard to this. When I looked at doing a social media module, because I think that it's so important and it plays into the three-pronged marketing approach, I couldn't think of three better gentlemen to go ahead and bring in front of you guys to learn from other than Chris Westfall, Mike McCormick, and Mike Newton. So what we're going to do is, as I said, whip out your phone, go to that website, askamandanow.com, and you guys, oh, you got a thing so we can read the questions. Awesome. So do you want me to read them and tee them up? Is that easy? Okay.
Sounds great.
So what we'll go ahead and do is as you have questions, go to that site. You can even do them anonymously, so you don't even have to put your name there. And we will start this, and we have a whole hour and 15 minutes to go ahead and ask the questions and tee up the start with all of that. So Mike, I'm going to start with you. How did you, for somebody that's basic in social media, do all of you have Facebook pages? Raise your hands. Who has Facebook pages? Who has business Facebook pages? Who has Instagram? Who has LinkedIn? Who has TikTok? Okay. Okay, so at least now we have a clue as to that. So, starting with Facebook, what would you suggest that someone do that's beginning to want to promote what they do on Facebook?
All right, I'm going to take this one, I guess. I'm going to start off. So first and foremost, just want to thank Amanda for allowing me to be here. Amanda's awesome, so big round of applause to her.
Thank you.
So yeah, my name is Mike Newton. I've been in the business 11 years. And something happened to me in 2016. My business stalled. Was doing direct mail, cold calling, provider relationships, things like that. And things stalled for me because it was a little slow. And I met up with a buddy of mine who was doing really well in the real estate game in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's where I'm from. And I reached out to him and I said, Jordan, what are you doing? You're killing it. And he came up to me and he educated me on social media and talked to me about the importance of social media. And the first question I asked him, and it might be some of the same things y'all have, the first question I had is, what's the ROI on it? What is the ROI if I put the effort into social media? You know what his response was to me? What's the ROI if you don't do it? That was my aha moment. And I said, oh shit, you're right. So I said, okay, I've got a Facebook page. What do I do? He said, Mike, it's social. Social media. Social media. So I was like, all right, Jordan, help me out with that a little bit more. So I have a really quick exercise for the group, real fast. Everybody has a pen and paper, right? Okay. On your pen and paper, I want you to draw a stick figure. Okay? That stick figure is you. Now, all around that stick figure, I want you to write down who you are as a person. Part of that is you're a broker, right? Part of that. And I'll give you guys a couple minutes, and I'll tell you why this is important and why I did it. So when I did it, at that time, and still to this day, I'm a dad, I'm a friend, I'm a son. My dad is here. Many of you met him. I'm a teammate. I'm a business partner. All the above. Friend. And what I noticed when I was making my stick figure is I didn't put on there that I'm an advocate for the insurance industry. Because at that point, I was like, it's not part of who I am right now. I'm just doing this as a job. And I said, that's a problem. So what I quickly found out is when I was posting content, I was consistently selling, trying to generate a lead. That's all I was doing. So I did it for 6 months. Didn't work. Went back to my buddy Jordan. He said, dude, you're screwing it up. You're doing it all wrong. People want to know who you are. They want to know you, the dad, the son, the father, the husband, the friend, the business mentor. And last but not least, they want to know that what you do for the industry. So I started changing up my content completely. 80% of my content was getting my audience to know who I am as a person. I was talking to Chris about this last night. If you don't follow Chris Westfall, you have to, because his content is awesome, by the way. But when you look at Chris's content, I feel like I know so much about his life because he posts a lot about it. He's got a brand new grandbaby. He's got a beautiful wife. He's a dad. But guess what? He also runs a massive insurance agency that does really well. And when Chris was up on the panel yesterday, he said, people call into my office and they already know who I am because they trust me. That's not because Chris has a license. That's because Chris posts valuable content to help people, and they know who he is.
It's relatable.
Relatable.
Relatable content.
Relatable content. So
it makes you human.
Yes, it makes you human. The human aspect of it, right? So my biggest advice to you today is stop selling, start being a resource. And be you. Talk about who you are as a person. So as you're writing down who you are on your stick figure, that's your content. That is your content. Take pictures of yourself. Amanda's great at it. She takes selfies. She's all over the place. It's a funny story. You know, prior to marketing on social media, I probably would have never met Amanda. Ever. There's no way. She's in Ohio, I'm in Raleigh. Unless something crazy happened, we would have never have met each other. But we saw each other's content, we respected it, and now here we are today.
It's the same with all three of these gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's one where nobody likes to be sold to when they're scrolling through. And Mike McCormick actually made this point at Soup Live last year, in that when they're doing their mindset when they're when they're looking at Facebook is they want their downtime. I mean, how many of you guys scroll through Facebook because you want mindless content to relax? Last thing you want to do is hey, you're fat, go get on these Herbalife supplements so that we drop a few pounds, right? Or hey, you know what? The realtor that's going ahead and doing do you want to buy this house every day? That's not how it is. There's a reason with my content. Normally in the morning, there's something motivational. Let's get you off on the right foot mentally. Then there's usually some picture that is obnoxious of me that's somewhere throughout the day, so that you guys are laughing and I've got some levity to it. Then there's usually some kind of industry post that I'm doing so that you're learning. And then I normally close the day with, again, something that is light. And you don't have to post all of that all those times, but you want to have it so that it's not constant sell, 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 sell. The question that we have, what's the best way to get followers on Facebook? So I'm actually going to tee this one up to Mike McCormick. What do you think on that one?
Let's turn the mic on. 2 for 2. You know, the reason that I feel as if I've been able to enjoy the success that I've had on social media over the years is, quite frankly, because I don't give a shit what you think about me.
Yes.
Like, not even a little bit. Almost everyone and anyone is on social media already, and I think that ultimately scares a lot of people. Like, oh my God, everyone that I know, everyone from my town is on social media. You know, if I say the wrong thing, if I do the wrong thing, if I'm offensive, if I speak on anything that I may believe, you know, intrinsically as a human being, especially in today's climate, you know, I may get pushback. You know, I've got people around town that I don't want knowing about, you know, what I've got going on in my life. I've got an ex that may be a pain in the ass. I've got 101 reasons that I'm allowing myself to stand in the way of success with social media. And the reality of it is, and I mean this very politely, you ain't that special. Like, nobody in your life from 5, 10, 15 years ago, or someone across town woke up today thinking about you. And if they did, it's weird. And if they're around, you've got a lot of control with your social media, right? Like, it's not like you've got a Facebook account and it's just like anyone and everyone can say anything to you, see anything that you're sharing, and all that type of stuff. You have got a ton of control over who's engaging with you, who's interacting with you, who's seeing your content, all that kind of stuff. Again, I personally don't care, so I just put myself out there, good, bad, or indifferent. I believe that is part of my charm. It's also part of why I am polarizing. But that's the thing. Anyone who stands for anything is going to be polarizing. And let me ask you this. What type of products, what type of solutions, what type of brands, and what type of people are you personally most drawn to? The ones that you know the most about and feel most aligned to. So while a lot of people are very, very scared and nervous to put themselves out there because, oh my God, what if someone knows me? My philosophy is I'm going to put myself out there because guess what? These people are going to know me. And at the end of the day, it's attraction marketing. Not everyone is going to gravitate towards you. Some people are going to be repelled by your personality. Guess what? That's a win. You don't want to be working with those people anyway, because guess what? When you got down to it, you probably were going to clash a little bit. My sense of humor is out there. And it comes through, whether it's online, whether we're having conversation, it does not matter. I am me 100% of the time. And something that my wife actually says is annoying. But like, can you just tone it down a little bit when we go to wherever we're going? No. No, I cannot, because that's going to suck, and it's going to suck more if I've got to not be myself while I'm there too. But the big thing is, to Mike's point, be yourself, put yourself out there. It's not all business, business, business. You know, to Mike's point, it's social media. These people are not logging on to social media, Facebook in particular, maybe LinkedIn, maybe they're logging in with a little bit more intent on LinkedIn to have those kind of professional conversations. But at the end of the day, they want to see you. They want to see your face. They want to see your family. They want to see your kids. They want to see what you're involved in, what you're doing. And if you're not okay sharing all of that, and it's okay if you're not, I'm not always comfortable sharing it. You know, I mean, you're also in control of the narrative that you're putting out there, right? But if you are not looking for everything from your life to be out there, again, you're curating your content. So we've all got good, bad, and ugly, right? Do you have to share the ugly? No. Do you have to share the bad? No. I share the bad. Personally, I find that being vulnerable online allows for solutions to come into my life. It allows for people to come in and point me in the directions that I'm looking for, but I get if you don't want to be vulnerable. But at the end of the day, you are in control of the content you're putting out, you're in control of the people that you let in, and what you're doing is, if you think about it, social media has not social media, the insurance industry has always been predicated on what? Relationships, right? Not leads, relationships. And while so many people are nervous or scared or tentative or hesitant to really put themselves out there on social media, let me ask you this. How many conversations are you having at a time in your office as you're making your phone calls? One at a time, right? Right now, in my pocket, at any given moment, I've got 8 to 12 active sales conversations going on that are moving a little slower than your traditional phone call, but they're moving. And I'm getting a lot more done being able to spread myself out a lot for you're spread a little bit thinner, but no one on the other end knows or cares because it's the same speed that they're looking to move because you're on social. But in any event, saying a lot to wind down to one simple point, it all begins and ends with your willingness to put yourself out there in an authentic and consistent manner. The relationships that you're looking for follow from there.
So I've got several of the same question. How important is it to have a business page versus posting on your personal page? And I'm going to answer this one first. And Chris called me out on this actually on Saturday. People want to know you, and Mike's fleeting into that also. People want to know you. They want to know all the things. So is it a good idea to go ahead and post a picture of you dancing on the bar? Probably not. Or maybe it is. You know, who knows? Depends on what your audience is that you're trying to attract. For me, my audience is the agent. My audience is to show you guys the transparency, the up, the down, the good, the bad, that I'm scared as hell, and when I succeed, and everything in between, so that the optic is different than what you see with other people that are doing the everything is wonderful, and guess what? You know what? I didn't really have to work to go ahead and make these types of successes happen. And most of people have gone ahead and said, well, we claim BS on that because we know that it's a rocky road and it's a roller coaster. Well, what kinds of hurdles am I hitting? What kinds of things, and are they normal? Am I normal with what's going on? Am I normal that I'm feeling like I just walked into this business and it's scaring the hell out of me? Or am I questioning myself occasionally, going, am I really this stupid? I mean, at some point, you guys have had to ask yourself this. Is it just me? Or is somebody else having this problem too? So for me, I post that stuff on social media so that way you know that you're not the only one that is going through those things. And some people, that's endearing. And other people, it scares the hell out of them. And that's okay. So it goes to that point. So for me, I want it on the personal page. If I'm trying to go ahead and anything that I'm trying to do from a business perspective, for the most part, I'm doing that on LinkedIn, or I'm going ahead and my business page for Facebook has a little bit of information on it, but I'm posting maybe once a day, once a week, versus multiple times a day on my personal page. Chris, what about you?
Nothing. Use Facebook.
Nothing? Facebook? Mike?
I think I'll chime in there too. Remember, folks, the variable, right? So a business page, a personal page, that stuff is all important. The variable is always the content. That is the variable on your social media marketing. And to kind of help you with something here, and I don't know where he is in the room, but Sonny, where's Sonny Gurney?
Over here.
Over there, my man. Been following you for a while. Love your content. Has anybody in the room ever seen the movie 8 Mile with Eminem? Remember that movie? And remember at the end, Eminem is in his final rap battle, and his strategy was to go up on stage and basically make fun of himself and basically tell the other rapper, hey, I know everything that you're going to say about me, and I'm going to create a rap, and I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. That analogy helped me with social media. Because I got on, I've done about 600 Facebook Lives in the past 5 years. The first one I did, I was scared to death. I was like, holy shit, I'm on a camera in front of thousands of people. This is scary. But I bring up Sonny because I remember watching your journey. And I remember the first video you did, and you talked about that. And now you're creating content. And I haven't had a chance to talk to you about what that has generated for you, but I'm watching it. And so are a lot of other people. So if you're in a position where you're scared to death to make video or make content, make fun of yourself, right? Make fun of yourself. It's okay. It's okay to be human. It's okay to mess up and say and drag on and do all these different things. That's what people want to see. You're relatable. If you're that person, you know, there's apps you can put on your phone that are like teleprompters and you can read from it. Yeah, there's all that kind of stuff available. But you think people are going to see through that? You're going to look like a robot, right? Amanda Brewton just did a live video here a little while ago, right? And I don't know how many people are going to see that. But remember, the variable is the content. Here's the other thing that I learned is money follows attention. It follows attention. And the more attention you can get for your business and for yourself, the better. And the quickest way, like Mike said, is you're working in a very large pond on social media. You're working in a huge ocean, right? Throw that net out. Throw your content out, whether you think it's good, bad, ugly, indifferent, dancing on the bar, whatever you're doing, right? If you can get half the industry to love you and half the industry to hate you, you're going to do great. You're going to do great. So,
Chris, these questions are for you. Who does your videos, and how do you find the courage to post live videos? I have major stage fright.
Okay, first of all, before I answer that, don't forget, because I will. It doesn't matter what you do for marketing in your company. If you put out flyers, which is a great idea with the pull tabs, love that. If you go door to door and put out flyers to people's houses, don't do that for Medicare Advantage. It doesn't matter what you do. If you don't have the box checked off that when they go to verify that you're legitimate, you lose. A friend of mine is doing a very successful Facebook marketing campaign, but he talks about it all the time, that the people say, oh no, I checked you out after I saw your ad. I checked you out. What are they doing? They're Google searching your name. You have to control what the viewer sees when they search you, because everybody will in 2023 and beyond. The first thing to do in that is Google My Business. It's free. You control the first thing that they see about you on Google My Business. And the first thing is reviews. People think that reviews happen by accident. They don't. In my office, we pay our agents $100 each for every 5-star review. And in the last year, we went from 400 to 1,263 today. Why? Because we actively work for the reviews. And we ask for them only after we've done something good for them. $100 each. Here's the thing, though. If you ask for a review and you've done a crappy job, you're going to get negative reviews. How do you stop that? There are a whole bunch of companies that you can pay that they will get in the way of a negative review and interrupt that process. I found a way you can do it for free on your own instead of paying $40, $50, $100 a month. All these third-party reputation management systems are great, like Trustpilot and the rest, but really the gold standard is Google's 5 stars. So I put together a thing, I'll give it to you later, on how you can have your own reputation management system in there. And basically all you're doing is you're sending somebody to a website asking for their review. You can see mine at pleasereviewas.org. Pretty catchy, right? Only after we've had a positive interaction. It gives them 5 stars. Depending on where you click in those 5 stars, makes you take a different journey. If you've had a bad experience, it's not going to take that review to Google. No, it's going to ask you on a form, please give me your feedback and tell me where we missed the mark. And so you only want the positive reviews to go there, but I'm telling you, you can really control what the people are going to see. There's other top-level domains that if you have a Facebook page, you have a LinkedIn page, you write articles, you get citations from different places, and I'll give you a resource for that later. But you have to control that conversation. So on the videos, who makes my videos? I do. Who edits my videos? I do. Who does the live stream and the switching cameras back and forth? I do, because I've practiced it hundreds of times. And what you said the other day was so great. Who said it? Mike said it. You can have 700 takes before you get it right. Doing something is better than doing nothing. The most important thing about doing a video is going to be, this sounds so weird, I know, it's the audio. If your audio is crap, they're going to get off of that video. That hurts you all across the analytics for every platform. You have to have them engaged. There's different ways to do that with a pattern of having a hook right at the beginning. What are we going to talk about? Have them stay to the end. You're going to give them a free resource at the end. And then have engaging content all the way through. Changing the transition of what's on the screen as often as possible is the best practice. I don't always do it. There's a book on YouTube marketing called YouTube Formula by a friend of mine named Daryl Eves. Fantastic book about hooking the audience. He's the consultant that got Mr. Beast to be the #1 person on YouTube. It's called YouTube Formula. Highly recommend it. I'll stop talking. Oh, what was the second question? I'm sorry.
How do you do lives? Because they've got major stage fright.
Let me give you all a little secret. Please don't share this outside this room. I use a program called StreamYard. It's really cool. A lot of people use it. I don't stream it on every platform. I can go on, I think it's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. I can go live to all these platforms at the same time. What I've discovered is from a program run by James Schramko in Australia. He wrote a course called Own the Race Course. And what that means is control the origin of your content. Don't just disseminate it everywhere, because in recent years, Facebook stopped its organic reach, and you can only get that same reach by paying for it. So what he found is if he has one core piece of content, in my case it's YouTube, I go to all the other platforms and I point to that one piece of content, which is YouTube. And when you put that link to the video on the other platforms, Facebook used to penalize you like crazy for it. I haven't seen that lately. They show the thumbnail for the video and a link that's embedded in there, so they all come to your YouTube. So to answer the question about live, I only stream to YouTube, but when I plan that ahead of time, and there's a little strategy there, then other platforms are bringing them to my live stream, and then I try to answer the chats. But on StreamYard, which is so easy, it's been said lately the easiest software for doing this, it makes it look so cool. You can be like a newscaster and have your slides over your shoulder. You can be in a tiny little box. You can switch back and forth. It just takes a little bit of practice, but here's the key. Record it ahead of time. And then if it sucks, don't make it live. Isn't that cool? And so you can record it using all the cool tools in there, and you can schedule it to go live. And when you schedule it to go live, then I can sit back sometimes in a bar having a nice drink, and watch that at 5 or 6 p.m. and fully engage in the live chat and every interaction that you have with people with chat and comments and likes and shares and all that stuff helps the algorithm. Nobody once has ever asked, how are you live answering our questions in the chat and you're talking 90 miles an hour in the video? But that's it. It's the magic of pre-recorded. But I can also, if I want to, jump back in there and do something live, and there's nothing better than encouraging your audience to comment in live stream, and you can bring that with StreamYard in to the live stream. They feel so cool. But anyway, that's the quick answer to that.
Is it too late to go ahead and get into YouTube's as a Medicare agent?
You have to, because the search reach of YouTube, which is owned by Google, is one of the top tier results that's going to come back when somebody's asking for information about you. They want to know who you are. The most visited page on every website is the About Us page. They want to know who you are. Nobody will do business with you if they don't like you, know you, and trust you. So when you have a nationwide audience, yes, it's pretty tough. So the reason why I'm in 40-something states is because I just kept getting my state license. I'm always blown away by agents in the forums who say, I have a lead in Illinois and I'm not licensed there. Well, guess what? It cost you what, $30, $50, whatever it is, and now you've got a foothold in a new geographic that you can start marketing in there on purpose. And that's literally how we came through the country. What was the question? Oh, is it too late? My bad. Local marketing, however, is super easy. If in the keywords, if in the title, if in the transcript, which Google absolutely indexes based on what you're saying, you talk about your local market, your cities that you market to, your counties that you market to, who your target audience is. Somebody said something yesterday, what do I do if a person has no internet and they have no cell phone? I would say that's my fault because I'm targeting the wrong avatar. I'm talking to the wrong person. I'm in the wrong conversation. God bless everybody. There's a person to help everybody out there. I'm not discriminating. I'm saying that what I learned early in life is the riches are in the niches. I have to focus on one area that I'm going to be good at, have consistent content, and talk directly to the camera. Don't ever talk to, hey, you guys. That's horrible. They want to know you're talking directly to them. And in the first minute or two, they're going to know if you're talking to them. If not, they're out of there. You'll watch your bounce rate. You'll watch your watch time, how long they watched your video. And if you can dial that into the person you want to be talking to, then guess what? If they're watching you on YouTube, they have the internet. So anyway, that's the answer there.
So I have a couple of questions for you guys. How many of you guys have web pages of your own? Raise your hands. How many of you guys have a Google business set up? Okay, for those of you that don't, if you're looking for somebody to build a compliant website, snoozy.com, Ken French can go ahead and help you. His information is in your folders. And he's very versed on Medicare compliance, so he can go ahead and make sure that your website, if you are doing Med Advantage and Part D, will accommodate all of the regs that are in with that. For the Google business, it's super easy. Just Google it and then go in. It's free. It'll take you 5 minutes to set that up, but you definitely do need to do that. I need you to do that for me for a second.
I kind of wanted to address something too. You know, part of that question I think was asking, like, you know, what do you do if you're nervous, you know, about getting in front of the camera and whatnot. And you know, I've been fortunate to speak on a number of stages the last, you know, call it 6 or 7 years. I go live in my Facebook group very, very, well, not as frequently as I used to, but you know, fairly often. I do a lot of video. I shoot courses. You know, I'm in front of the camera a lot, and I can tell you this: even though I may be up here, even though I may be the guy in front of the camera, I still deal with nerves and anxiety and stress over it every single time. Mm-hmm. Every single time. So if you're out there right now and thinking to yourself like, oh man, I wish I could do what these guys up here are saying they can do, or I wish that I was able to, you know, get over my nerves or whatever. That's all we've done in a lot of cases. You know, I was speaking to Amanda before we came up here, and a lot of people only know me digitally or virtually, and because I'm very active on social, there's this assumption that I'm going to be this big extrovert when we get in front of each other. And I am like a very limited capacity extrovert. Like, I can go to an event, I can shake hands and mingle and put on a smile and all the things, but when it is all over, like, I need to go into a hole and decompress for 3 to 4 days.
That would be me.
So,
and actually, Chris just said it too. We're all that way. It's yeah, you need the recoup time.
But do you guys know anyone that does like the cold plunges, like those like 40-degree baths?
I think that is the meanest thing ever.
No one in here, because we're sane. But you know of these people. They will all tell you it doesn't suck any less from day to day. You don't get used to it. You just know that there are benefits from it that you should be chasing. Mm-hmm. And that's not me saying to be someone you're not. But understand that if you're able to push through these hesitations, that there's gold in them dar hills. Mm-hmm. There is not a single person that I have helped over the years get comfortable on camera that have not had tremendous results 60, 90, 120 days later, infinitely going forward. So, yeah, we're scared. Yeah, we're nervous. But yeah, it's worth it.
You got to start somewhere. I mean, it goes back to what I said yesterday. At the end of every event, at the end of every interaction, every single one, what went well, what didn't. God, you know it. You could have done that better. You probably should have phrased that better. You know, I've had it where I've been in a room and I've stood in front of 100 people, and I've had it where I've found at the end of cleaning up a room, somebody took a napkin and was doing a ticker about how many times I said No joke. There was at least, and as bad as this was, there were 35 of them in a 2-hour period of time.
That's not a lot.
It's not a lot. But at the same time, I was horrified that actually somebody went ahead and did it. How many of you have sat in a room when you've listened to somebody talk, when you're doing something like this, and you hear those catchphrases that everybody uses? Circle back, stretch goal.
Make no mistake.
Yeah, make no mistake.
Honestly.
Right size. All of those. And then it used to be like, we used to go, this is going to be a drinking game. Let's do it, Those are things that you take it with a grain of salt. Nobody is perfect. Get over the optic that you have to be perfect when you're doing this. So I'm going to share a little bit of vulnerability for a minute. When I first started on social media and I started getting transparent and I started sharing some of my personal life on that, because up until I left Anthem, you did not see anything when it came to my personal life on social media. I wouldn't even let you guys connect to me on Facebook. That was not allowed. So I started being transparent, and my family was pissed. Absolutely pissed. You're bragging, you're conceited, how dare you go ahead and do this? You're talking about a family thing that we did and what you liked and what you didn't, and I feel called out, and I'm like, this isn't about you. This is about my view, my journey, and I want to see this. It's not, candidly, some of the stuff that's in my memories, it horrifies me. I don't know anybody that it doesn't. And then other things, I'm like, oh my God, this is cool. This is such an awesome accomplishment. The first Ms. Medicare that I did in 2021, when those memories start rolling up, it's like, we did that. We did that in 120 days. So you're going to have people that you upset, regardless of what it is. Not everybody's going to like what you do. And it takes a lot of courage, because I come from a family that bred into us, oh my God, what would people think? You can't wear that. Somebody's going to think you're fat. Can't wear something that's too low cut because they're going to think you're a whore. Can't wear something that's too high because, well, your cha-cha's going to show. You name it. That's how we were bred. Get over it. So anybody follow Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V? If you don't, look him up. Gary V, Gary Vaynerchuk.
V-A-Y, Vaynerchuk, yeah.
He is absolutely awesome. I've been following him for several years, and what he says is what was just alluded to. The right audience will follow you. Vaynerchuk. Gary V. If you Google Gary V, you will find him. He's got a ton of books. He's all over social media and everything else. He is one of the people that in the morning, my Monday morning or my morning motivation that I do, he is one of those that I go ahead and I read a little bit of whatever the book is or the social media that I'm doing to get me in the right headspace. Because let's face it, I've got quite a few haters out there. So does Chris. No. So does Mike. So do the Mikes.
Recruiting more.
Yeah. And the thing is that, does it bother me? Some of you know I got blasted left and right a couple of months ago. And it was hard. And it really was hard. Because they came at my integrity. And at the end of the day, the right people stepped up and said, you know what? Your optic versus what I see of that is totally different and you're off base. So thank you guys for you that got my back on that. I appreciate you more than you know, but on the other side of it, what Gary V came to say and what I'm now fully getting into, the right audience will have your back. The right audience will be there. And that means, so anybody want a client that goes ahead and is in your office every day? That takes 2 hours at a time because they're lonely and they just need somebody to talk to? No, right? So you have that same thing. Getting the right audience is paramount.
There's a book by Gary Vaynerchuk that changed my life. It's called Jab, 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 Right Hook. Jab, 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 right hook. And what it basically means is put out helpful content with no expectation of reciprocity. Just put it out there. Help, 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 help. Every once in a while, have a call to action of where you can find me if you want something more. Completely changed my paradigm, like Mike Newton was talking about. And one thing that I'll do behind the scenes is a little bit of a secret, talking about what the other Mike talked about.
No throwing things.
Yeah, it's always nerve-wracking to start the camera. I'll do it 3 or 4 or 5 times. But then when I get going, I have this internal burning dialogue that's usually responding to something that's happened in the media to put it in context for my audience. And if you get lost in the fact that people may be getting screwed over or there's a proposed legislation that will screw your audience over, you suddenly lose yourself and you find yourself being the advocate for the person, and all that, if it's real, it comes through. Now, how do you find the content to be talking about all the time? Free tool called Google Alerts. Put in all your keywords, Medicare, Part B, Medicare Advantage.
I learned something new again.
And every day, you can put them in real-time alerts. If there's something new, something proposed, somebody famous said something about, you should definitely have Google Alerts for you and your business name. You should also have your name trademark. My gosh, it'll forego so many. Anyway, a whole bunch of stuff talking about business. But if you are passionate about something, I hate to bring this up, but there's a scripture in the Bible that says you can be hot or you can be cold, but if you're lukewarm, I'll spit you out of my mouth. Nobody wants boring content about the Part B deductible is now going to be blah, blah, blah. You can put it in context to how does this affect you? Well, little Mary, who's my client, said this is going to screw her because Social Security's only giving her 7%. And this is going up and that's going up and inflation. So put it in context for your audience. They don't care about the news. They want to know how are you delivering it? How are you feeling about it? How should they feel about it? And other resources to back up what you said. And it's not hard to put those things out. I did an experiment. I'll talk one little more secret, and that is consistency in social media. On YouTube especially, they want to post every 5 minutes. It's not going to happen. But I did a little experiment 2 AEPs ago, and it just changed my life. We went from 5,000 subscribers to 60,000 overnight. What happened was our phones were not ringing as much as they usually do. So from the beginning of AEP, I made a commitment to myself that I was going to do a new video every day while we were busy doing what we were normally doing. The office would shut down at 5 o'clock. I would sit there and record a video from 5 to 6. I would edit the video from 6 to 8 or 6 to 9, and then schedule it to go out at 6 o'clock the next morning. And that just completely wrecked my YouTube channel. It went nuts. And it put it in more eyeballs and more eyeballs and more eyeballs. And you could see the watch time went up, which is the biggest indicator as to whether you're going to be successful on YouTube. How long are they watching your videos? Another question that you'll get eventually is, how long should your video be? It should be long enough to get the message out there, but if it's too short, then you are encapsulating the maximum watch time by limiting yourself to 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I don't suggest doing that. Yes, I ramble for 15, 18, 20 minutes, but the watch time average is over 9 minutes on my channel. My competitors, meanwhile, are doing a 3-minute blurb on something that happened in the news, and guess what their max watch time could possibly be? 3 minutes. That does not help you. Working on your thumbnails is huge. There are so many education courses out there on YouTube about how to get better on YouTube you would not imagine. People are going to ask what editor to use. It doesn't matter. I've changed editors 3 times in the last 3 years. Whatever you're comfortable with, and it does not have to be fancy at all. Any other questions? Sorry.
Got it. Do you guys have anything to add on that? Editing YouTube, editing video, cameras, technology. I mean, what do they use? Their iPhone? Do they have to go get special ones that go onto their monitors at home?
I've got a $30 microphone that will change your life. It's just so cool. And the best camera out there would be one that's a 4K camera that can do the bokeh effect, and it's going to cost you $5,000. I'm just kidding. I know. Mm-hmm. If you have a cell phone that's made in the modern age, like an iPhone, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever it is, every year I make it a point to get the latest Samsung Galaxy Ultra thing, just because I like to have the latest stuff. But I can use my cell phone, have a really great video as long as the audio's good. And since I found this little microphone for $30, it's wireless. You stick it in the bottom of your phone, you put the other lavalier microphone on you and go 50 feet away. It comes with 2, so you can interview somebody else. It's really cool. I'm going to give you the link to all those things that I use, including some books. And jumped yesterday really, really fast. There's a book that I'm reading right now called Who, Not What. And it talks about hiring people, getting things off your plate, go do what you're best at, and give it to somebody else. I mean, hundreds, if not thousands, of examples where businesses were completely transformed by getting the right who instead of you taking the time to build your own website. If you don't want to edit videos, you can find somebody to do that on Fiverr.com for maybe $5, $10, $20. Find the who, and everything else works itself out. A camera. Yeah, you can use your cell phone. You can get fancy cameras, but it's absolutely not necessary. Notes. If you write this down, notes, like you're making notes, notes.webinarwithchris.com. It's cheesy, but it's a live Google Doc that I can keep adding stuff to. In that link, it's called notes.webinarwithchris.com. There's a webinar I did for Aetna last year about how to get found online. And there's also a link on there for the camera, the microphone, that kind of junk if you want to see what I use.
Awesome. I sound like cornbread, but I like my local target group. Do I need to be concerned about social media's reach as my presence grows? What was the first part? They like their local group, so they want to stay local with their marketing and everything else. So target marketing. Do you guys want to talk about how you do target marketing on social media?
I can start with that one. Joe Namath. He can't talk about the pothole on Main Street. You can. Get in front of a landmark. Take a video. There's a barbecue restaurant or a famous movie theater or an ice cream shop. Go do a video there. Educational video, like Chris said. Address your audience, right? Joe Namath cannot talk about the pothole on Main Street, right? He's everywhere. But is he legitimately helping your clients? No, he's not. But when you look at it, A lot of us hate Joe Namath. We hate it, right? But the marketing is genius, right? It's great marketing. Good. It's what they did. You can offset that. So here are three things that I wanted to bring to you all today that you can take away today in action. You can do it right now. I'm very blessed to have a very large team of producing brokers. And here are three things that our different brokers are doing right now. The ladies up on stage before were talking about influencers in your community, right? I have an agent right now. She is qualifying for top producer trips. She's helping a ton of people. She found an influencer in her community that has a massive following. She pays her $600 a month to do a Facebook Live with her once a week to promote herself in front of that influencer's followers. That is her marketing strategy, and she crushes it. So if you're online, if you follow somebody, if somebody has a big following and you like their content, reach out to them. See if you can collaborate, because here's what I will tell you. Most people that are creating content online are not getting paid for it. If you can offer them some money every month and say, hey, if we just collaborate together, that could be something you could look at doing.
We did that one time with clients. We offered, it was during COVID. I told my people, I'll pay you $100 if you get a client that's happy with us. They tell you they're happy with us. Let's get them on a Zoom call and record their story. A lot of the times they're tragic stories that we were able to get them out of a situation. Let's get that out there for people, and those are the highest watch videos that I have. The quality is horrible. I mean, they're on their cell phone talking from across the room. Can't control that, but it's the authentic looking at, like, that's social proof that he really does help people. So I would really recommend making that. We got to get doing that again. But that really does help when you get your client, and if you're face-to-face and you're using that $30 microphone, stick the microphone on them, and you put your phone up on a $10 tripod from Amazon, and that's a great idea of content.
I'm really proud of her. She thought outside of the box. She said, how can I do something that's different? And that's her marketing strategy. Two more other things. I have a massive team of people right now that are entrenched in Facebook groups in their communities. Now, here's the secret. Make friends with the admins. Don't go in there and just start posting stuff. Make friends with the admins. Relationship business. Let them know who you are. Let them know what you do for the community. Because here's what's happening, is what I'm seeing, is the people are getting tagged in these groups. Hey, if you need help with Medicare, here's the guy you need to talk to. And he's local, and here he is. And like Chris said, they go and check him out, but they have presences.
You just teed up Mike McCormick with that.
I am chomping at the bit.
Yep.
The last one I'm going to leave you with is, so TikTok has changed a lot on social media, right? So TikTok has attracted a lot of honeybees, as they like to call them, to their platform because a lot of people want to go to TikTok. You look at YouTube, you look at Facebook, they're trying to get those people back, right? So what did these platforms do? They start incentivizing people to get back on these platforms. Has anybody ever heard of a Facebook Reel? R-E-E-L. You know what a Facebook Reel is? How many of you are running Facebook Reels right now? Interesting. Sunny. I've got a broker right now. What he's doing is he's recording a video testimonial from his clients and running it as a Facebook Reel. He's getting thousands of views. Guess how much that cost him? $0. But you know what he's doing? That piece of equipment in his pocket that you're paying $1,600 a year for, your cell phone, he's using it. He's using it. So those things, I wanted to leave you with those three things because that's what I'm seeing results with. Where's Troy? Troy's in the audience somewhere. Back there. Facebook group guy. Huge presence in his local Facebook groups. So I wanted to give him a shout out because I was talking to you yesterday and I was just admired by your story. So I want to leave those things.
So this is Mike's sweet
spot.
spot.
Now we're both going to talk about Troy, and that makes things awkward.
I call dibs.
See, and you didn't know that you were going to become a star here, did you?
I didn't even know Troy was going to be here until Monday. So, yeah, you know, we were talking a little bit about community, right, and joining community groups and all that kind of stuff. The reason that I am even here today is because of Facebook communities, and not because I woke up one morning and said, I'm going to start one because, gee, this seems fun. So my story to get to the point where I am today began with me opening my agency and doing what so many people in this room are probably doing right now. Trying to forge relationships with local organizations. The BNIs, the LaTips, the Toastmasters, the Chambers, the PTAs, the religious organizations, and on it goes. You want to be where the people are. That was a Little Mermaid quote. But you want to be where the people are. And we bust our asses to ingratiate ourselves with, call a spade, sometimes these impenetrable fortresses that have been around for 20, 30, 40 years, these good old boys clubs, these inner circles, that cool kid clubs that you're just never going to be a part of. You will always be on the outside. You'll be a part of the chamber, but you'll never be a part of the chamber, if that makes sense. And after going to a month and a half of BNI, where I was sitting at a diner table with a bunch of other business owners looking around at each other when no one had referrals, and then moving to, I don't remember what the organization was, but trying another one and getting a demerit because I didn't make a meeting, and I was like, demerit? Like, I'm 37. Like,
go stand in the corner.
Yeah. And ultimately, I got to the point where I said to myself, why am I seeking permission or validation from all of these friggin' jabronis who aren't doing shit themselves? I'm gonna go put my flag somewhere on the interwebs and claim that spot for me. And I'm going to try and attract my people. And that's what I did. I started a group called Rocky Point Community. I started talking about high school football. I started talking about the fairs, the festivals, the church events. And it was authentic. I wanted to be involved with the community. But at the end of the day, I was able to attract all the residents that all the chamber people were keeping back from me. And then all the people from the chamber ultimately wanted to have a spot in my group. Can I pay to be a sponsor? Can I pay to be the recommended choice? No. No, you cannot. You can go back to your chamber meeting and eat your cold sausage. But that is ultimately how Insurance Soup started. Because Rocky Point Community turned into an area that I was able to farm business to the tune of 7 figures of premium plus a year.
Now do you see why I have him here?
And I did it without advertising. I did it without constantly having to bang the insurance drum. Like, do you really think I was in front of the same 8,000 people from the town leading a conversation around insurance? No. I spoke about what they were interested in, and occasionally I would bring up a story about what happened in my agency, a feel-good moment. I would reference insurance here and there. Not every single time I'm talking. And ultimately, because it's your community, you're the leader, everyone looks up to you and respects you, they understand that this is your place. What winds up happening is, over time, everyone knows what you do, and whenever that topic comes up, there is only one choice. And ultimately that led to Insurance Soup, which has spun out in a lot of different directions for the industry. But my biggest thing with social media in general is the whole idea of community. And Troy and Jen, sitting at the bar back there, have done such a phenomenal job doing something very similar with a group, Pemberton Proud, is that what it's called? Pemberville Proud. And the two of them have been running this community now for 5, 6 years, more or less? No, a bunch of years. And they have grown that community to the point where it produces a 6-figure income for Troy and another 6-figure income for Jen as a real estate agent. So, and on top of that, like, the mayor of the town goes to you to get the word out about stuff. So there's a lot of power in community. There's even more power in owning a community. So if you can focus on that and drive a conversation in your community that is fun, upbeat, relevant, and what the people are actually looking to spend their time on social media doing, lighthearted fun, breaking the action, that type of stuff, you'll see your business explode.
Okay, so next one. I want the boys to discuss politics on social media. Yes or no?
No. I don't care. Yes. But that's just me. Again, I don't care.
Every time I talk about what somebody is proposing to do in Medicare, I get comments on both sides. How can you like Trump, you piece of garbage? And I see you supporting Biden now. What the hell are you thinking? Every single time. They always think. And I'm right down the middle. Here's what he said. Here's a clip of him saying it. Here's what Congress said. Here's what the other side said. Here's what this online source said. Every single time. But it gets them fired up. Fired up means it gets them engaged. When they get engaged, they watch more. When they watch more, they share with somebody. Look at this dummy said over here about what's happening with Medicare. And here's a sad fact. Change brings opportunity in this industry. And anytime there is change, if you highlight it, they're going to share it within other communities. So many times we get a call from somebody that says, my bridge club partner shared your video, and now I watched 300 of them, and now we're all going to be going with you for the Medicare stuff. You won't see, and this is another Gary V thing, he says, work fast in the short term, bust your butt to get stuff out there, but have patience for the long term, expecting no return whatsoever from your social media. And with my competition, sometimes I get scared looking at how quality their stuff is, but guess what? They all flame out and they all quit. The secret to them would be, please don't share this out there, don't freaking quit. Because you have no idea what's boiling up underneath. And one day, when somebody does stumble into what you put on there, the best thing to do is answer all the questions your clients are already asking. Join the conversation already going on in their head. Answer the questions that they're asking. Eventually, you're going to get traction when Google, through organic search, is going to find your video as the solution for the question that somebody's asking. Then they fall into your honey trap. They watch all your videos, and at some point, 3 o'clock in the morning, they're saying, okay, I watched enough. I trust this guy. I'm going to go to his website. I'm going to go find out more about that person. But if I didn't have the 30 videos and the 29th one was their question, I would have never gotten anybody. So don't quit if you're going to start, and don't wait until you do it great. Don't worry about color correction and the perfect audio and the perfect camera and switching cameras back and forth or doing a live stream. Just do something, and later, if your quality improves, if you hire your own video editor, go back and delete the old crap if you want to, or just redo that topic. There's a skyscraper method of SEO that I'll share really quick, and that is if somebody did a video about something, you can do a video about that topic, but do it so much better that you are now the tallest skyscraper out there, and Google loves good content. So if your content is better, and again, you're sharing your link to your video on all the other social media, so YouTube is going, wow, WebPoint 2.0 properties are pointing back to this video. It must be something. Then you ultimately win. And if you look for what's going out there, what are your competition doing? What's happening in the industry? Are you watching videos about YouTube, about Medicare on YouTube? Are you searching what everybody else is saying about it? Are you searching what Congress is talking about doing? All that stuff, being a student of the industry, leads you to be a source for other people to go to and say, well, if it's happening, Chris is going to be covering it. And I think everybody has that same opportunity because everything I do is free.
So I will say on my side, I am a hard no. I don't talk about politics, but I give you the facts. So regardless of what side of the spectrum that you're on, or who proposed a bill on whatever the issue is that we've got going on within the industry, I'm going to relay the information because that's what I do. I am that resource within the agent community to give you that information. My political affiliation is nobody's business as far as I'm concerned. Now, whether I think things are ridiculous, yeah, I usually share that. Will I put it in print? Normally not. Will I debate somebody about, well, is Biden better than Trump, that's better than Hillary? No, not a conversation that I care to. You want to talk about the legislation issues that we have going on all day long? I can do that, and I can debate both sides of it. So that's pretty much, and see, now I got the ums again. Damn it! This is why I try to go ahead and do everything off the cuff and not pay attention to it. Because as soon as I start paying attention to it, then it's like, ugh. Anyways, so that's as far as where I am as far as the political piece goes. SEO. I've had a few people that are like, what the hell is that? What does that mean? How does it work? And I'm going to ask, gentlemen, you want to take this? What is SEO? How does somebody that's just starting out, they've just got their website, they're starting to get an idea, you're talking about Google optimization and keywords and things like that. Can we talk about this like a third grader?
Amanda, real quick about
well, actually, a
about
third grader
politics
probably
thing.
knows more, but.
So there are two bunnies.
Thank you.
I was just going to circle back to the political thing real quick because I said I was a hard no, and here's why. You got your stick figure down there, right? If that's part of who you are, then put it on there. For me, I don't like to talk about politics. I like to joke about it. So I'll make posts. If something big happens in the news and everybody knows about it, I'll make a sarcastic post like, meanwhile in the news, 11,000 seniors turned 65 today. So I'll have fun with it. Like, I won't directly correlate it, but hey, if there's something going on and everybody's talking about it, if you want to, put a spin on it, right? Education, or you could be entertainment. So make that part of your stick figure. Do you want to talk about politics? Do you want to talk about religion? And if it's not part of who you are and who you want people to know who you are, then you check the box or you exit out. So that helped me.
SEO.
Yes, SEO, search engine optimization. Basically, what you're looking at doing is putting content out there that the search engines are going to ultimately recommend. The way that you're going to go about doing that is by putting together content, utilizing keywords that people are searching for. The better the content, the more referred the content is from other websites. That type of thing is ultimately what's going to help, draw out your search engine optimization score, which is going to help, land you where you ultimately place yourself on Google and whatnot. There are a lot of nuances to search engine optimization. I think right now there's a big elephant in the room around search engine optimization in conjunction with AI. A lot of people right now think that they can go to the moon with SEO if they just get ChatGPT to start writing their articles. Don't do that. There's already technology in place that is figuring out whether or not something was written by a human or written by artificial intelligence. If you want to utilize those types of technologies to give you a framework to put your content out there, feel free to do that and rewrite in your own voice and your own style. But don't use any kind of artificial intelligence to drive your blog posts or your articles or anything along those lines. All that said, it's an expensive search term, guys. It's a very, very expensive search term. So, you really want to find what's called long tail keywords, which is there are people out there that are searching for Medicare, right? And all the big brands and their big pocketbooks are all over that. But then there are the people in your area that are looking for Medicare for someone with diabetes in their 70s. And that's going to be where you'll be able to shine, because those long-term keywords that someone's actually searching for that may not have the amount of hits in the hundreds or thousands or 10,000s that these big carriers are chasing, those long-term keywords that you're writing content around will ultimately put you first and foremost for those types of searches. So at the end of the day, you're not going to really be able to compete with the big dogs on the very generic, broad search terms, Where you'll win with SEO is digging in with those long tail search terms and finding the niches within the space to make contact with the ball.
There's a tool called SEM Rush. It's Sierra Echo Mike, SEM Rush. You can do some keyword searches on there and find out the ones that have high or low search volume. And more importantly, it'll show you what the competition score is for a certain keyword. If the competition's real high, and it is, and exactly what Mike said, it is so competitive in the world of Medicare. If you're on a national scale, if you're looking for national reach, but on YouTube, you can put a location pin on where you are, on where the video was. You can put your keywords in the description and in the tags of where you are. And then most importantly, put it in what you're talking about specific to where you are. And if you're going to do local competition, you're being in the tri-pack of the Google business, which means you're on the map and you verify where you are and you are found for that. What's really cool, if you know that you've arrived, is get out your Alexa, because more and more searches are going through voice right now. Get out your Google Home and ask it, Alexa, find a Medicare agent near me. And if you come up there and you go to Google Voice and you say, Alexa, who is a Medicare agent near me? And if you come up every single time, you know you're doing it right. If you have a whole bunch of listed citations that are other websites pointing to you as being valid, that also helps. And in that link that I gave you is a list of the top 50 citation sites that you can go to. And it's a pain if you want to do it. You can hire a company to do it for you. It's just different directories that are out there that verify that you are who you are where you are. And so Google looks at that, some more than others. But if they know that you are legitimate, then you're more likely to have somebody find you. But again, local search is where it's at. I could focus on Charleston. I just never got around to it because we're getting stuff from all over. One of the reasons I moved to Charleston was to do seminars and see clients for once, face to face. It just never happened because it started growing.
Yeah, all that said, as far as like SEO is concerned, don't wake up tomorrow thinking that, all right, I'm going to start writing blog posts and I'm going to start seeing leads in a couple of days. This is a long play. If you get something your first 45 days, it's a small win. It's going to pick up over time, 45, 60, 90 days out. So it's a solid strategy. It does require a lot of heavy lifting because you got to be in constant creation mode. You got to be researching what to write, okay. And you got to be patient. You got to wait for it to all ultimately pan out. But
this is Chris Weir. Hi.
Hi, Chris. Hey, everybody. I wanted to address the SEO. I really just was going to ask a question of the panel. But
it's okay. You can ask the question, too.
The biggest challenge with SEO...
Hold it up.
Eat it?
There you go. Eat it.
Okay.
I think that's the tagline of this conference. Eat it.
No, don't do that. The biggest challenge with SEO today is in the past, we used to Google something and skip past the ones that said ad. But now we don't skip the ones that say ad. We still click the first or second one, even though it's a paid ad. So in the old days, we knew the paid ad ones, we would skip down and look for the real one. So the paid ads win now, and that is absolutely not worth paying for. So it's still about the SEO and the tricks and the local tags, but SEO is very, very long-term play. And if you want to pay for ads, as we've done at Lead Concepts, is very, very expensive. And I've even shut down my paid ads altogether at Lead Concepts. We do all of our lead gen is all social media stuff. So anyway, sorry, that's where I wanted to.
And you had a question?
No, I covered it. I answered my own.
You answered your own question? Give
it
to Chris. There we go.
Assuming the panel agrees.
100% agree. Yes.
Okay, so next one.
They say the best place to hide a body is on the second page of Google. That's true. Nobody ever goes there. It's true.
I'm an admin for an elementary school Facebook group. It's 1,200 members. How would you market to T65 to that group, please? How would I market it? I would just mention that, I do Medicare, and, I would just slip that in. You don't have to constantly shove Medicare down somebody's throat. So if you're having an event, you guys are your own event promoter. And I can't say that enough. If you don't, hold this because I'm going to throw it. If you don't promote your own events, nobody's going to come. I'm going to say that again. If you don't promote your events, no one is going to come. If you are pissed that you're not getting the number of people there, it's your own damn fault. And yes, I did just call you out. This is one of the things. How many people are in here from Ohio? Raise your hands. Okay. So, what ends up happening is in a lot, and my Ohio crew knows this. When all throughout my Anthem and my Aetna days, and my RVP used to say this all the time, how do you get people to pay attention when you speak? And it's not that I have a loud booming voice, and it's not that I'm, got a whip and I'm like, it's that I control my volume. Write it down, control your volume. If I'm screaming at you all the time, I become the naggy wife. I become the naggy mom. Put your clothes away, do this, do that. Jesus Christ, could you, I'm nonstop in your ear. You become that white noise, right? I do, between webinar and in-person events, I do easily a couple hundred events a year. Do you hear about all couple hundred of them? No, right? You hear about the ones that I say, you know what? This fits you. This is the shoe that fits you. Pay attention here. I don't care if you do this. Pay attention here. My Ohio crew knows that I would do that with, I don't care if you go attend anything that's there. But you got to hit my road shows in September, right, guys? You got to be there. Those are things that I've done. You control your volume. When you become your own event promoter, as you're doing your social events, you're turning 65 or whatever. Let's say you do a once a month T65. Post it and say, hey, you know what, you want to be there. I'm throwing a Easter thing, or I'm throwing a Memorial Day party, or I'm throwing one hell of a 4th of July party. You guys know what my gig is. When's my next party? July 8th. Whiskey Island, be there, be square. I will have alcohol, I will have a band. It is the thing, and it is where you want to be. Everybody's invited. And it's a good time. Promote where you want people to be. Drive the excitement. Drive the excitement on social media. Now, when they're there, this is the thing that most people overlook. Normal conversation is what? Who are you? Where are you from? And what do you do? Hi, I'm Amanda Brewton. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and I teach people about Medicare. And then I jump off of that subject. What do you do? It's nice to meet you, da-da-da-da-da. Don't be the used car salesman, but drive your energy. So regardless of whether or not so many people do the, well, what's in it for me? I'm not getting something right there. That's why social events are a thing. They won't come to a Medicare 101 because they feel like that you're sales pitching them unless they have an immediate need to buy. They'll come to bingo all day long because they're lonely. And when they need you, they'll come back and go, hey, you know what? I have a question. Can you answer this for me? Do you see how that works and it plays on it? So it's a very long-winded thing to say, what am I posting in that Facebook group? I'm posting about the events that I have. I'm posting about, hey, you know what? There's a reminder here. Heads up, you know what? It's getting time. You know, new things are happening with the drugs that are out on the market or whatever. You want to know it. You want to become that resource and then move from there. So that's how I do it.
I'll chime in on that too real quick. And I think it's an underserved market. So I'm 39 years old, right? So
Oh my God, you're old.
39.
No, I'm old.
So my assumption is everybody in this room is marketing to Medicare beneficiaries, right? Like that's who we're marketing to. That's our avatar, right? Well, my dad, who's here with me, both of my parents are on Medicare. I've never seen one person market to me about if your parents are on Medicare because they have a lot of choices, I'm the person to help your parents. You know, when is AEP? It's during Thanksgiving. How come nobody's marketing to me? The person who has parents.
Do you know that the sales on Medicare overall spike after Thanksgiving, and more often than not, the reason why is because they've talked with their loved one? 1/3 of all the business written when it comes to health choices is done with a caregiver or their son or daughter involved in the medical decision of what it is that they're doing. 1/3. The average age of the caretaker is 43. How are some of you guys not writing this down? 43 is a target. So if you're looking to go ahead and get an additional face, that's why Facebook is so popular, because who's on that? Who is the demographic? It's those that are over 40. So go after both.
And in that Facebook group, whoever had that question, if it's for elementary school children, I have kids that are 7 years old. That could be your demographic. You could be providing education in that Facebook group of, hey, if you have elementary age kids, chances are you're in your late 40s or late 30s or 40s. I help your parents with their Medicare options. So targeting T65 in that Facebook group, you might be wasting your time, but targeting people like me, saying, hey, I'm the advocate for your parents, that might be something that they've never seen before. Could be opportunity.
And to spin off of that real quick, if you guys are looking for events, do events that involve their grandkids. You guys are looking for, like Ann was mentioning, the gift cards that she does. What grandparent doesn't want to take their kid out for what grandparent doesn't want to take their grandkid out for ice cream? That's an easy one. Go to the local. I do this. We have an ice cream shop literally across the street from my house. It's called Handles. It's locally owned. It's not a chain. I do that all day long. Have an ice cream social right there with that business. Now tie that into the local Facebook groups that there's 11,000 people in both of those, and say, hey, I'm going to do an ice cream social here. If you're a grandma, bring your grandkid, and we'll go ahead and we will sponsor this. Show up on this date. Get a couple hundred people. They're easy. It's not going to cost a whole lot. How much is a scoop of ice cream? It isn't going to break your bank to do it. So those are things that you want to go ahead and look at when you're doing that. Mike?
Yeah, I was going to suggest. I may have died.
Yeah.
I was going to suggest the exact same thing as far as, marketing to the parents on the inside of that group. Whose question was it? If you're cool raising your hand. No one? All right. Well, a lot of it is going to boil down to the success. A lot of it's going to boil down to how active are you in that group currently and in that community currently. So all the advice that's being given on stage right now is all going to be for naught if you're a fly on the wall. You can't go from fly on the wall to look at me, look at me, look at me. You'll be run right out of that group. So you want to ingratiate yourself with that audience, with that community, by being present, by being playful, by sharing content outside of what you do. So that way, when you do speak about what you do, A, people like you in there and have your back. And B, there are people in there that know you, like you, and trust you that are now viewing the content. So if you're considering this for this type of community, understand that you can't go in there all gangbusters if you have had no presence in there whatsoever. You can't go in there all gangbusters if you're not participating in the local school community. Like if you're not doing trunk or treat, and you're not doing you know, the 6th grade dance, and you're not doing field day, and you're not at those type of events where the other parents kind of like know you, you're a familiar face, all that kind of stuff. You can't just go into a community like that and try and take over and talk about Medicare. It's not going to go well.
Okay, so we are a little over time. All of us are going to be at the Floribama tonight at 4 o'clock. As I mentioned, it is a dive bar, so wear your t-shirts, wear your comfortable clothes, wear your jeans. It is going to be the one that is on the Gulf side by the beach, so find us all. We'd love to go ahead and mingle with you guys and chat. Thank you for attending. We will start tomorrow again at 8 a.m., and then tomorrow's activity is the beach party. So have a great afternoon. Hope to see you at 4 or later, and have a good one, guys. Thanks. Thank you. Great job. Thank you.